Hello, hello. I am Eagle Gardens, Eagle Gardens One on Instagram, and this is fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 385.5. The wormhole, Smileys Gardens, popping in. Ah,
Shit, I gotta get
what's up, Smiley?
It's not too much.
We are live. I love it. So Dark Horse was a phone episode. Bring up my chat. Bring up chat. What's up, IC?
Still
Jason
getting my mic set
Istone.
up. Shit. What's up,
Cannabis flower. Rolling up. Fucking shoulders finally starting to give up, man. I don't know what I did, but I tweaked that fucking thing. It's like right from the middle of the shoulder blades to like the mid neck there. It's been all day. Just finally starting to let up.
Yeah, that sucks, man. You get it not like that. That's where them topicals are like, whoop. Those things kick ass and shit like that. Skilbo's roller ball shit. That's fucking money. Money.
Yeah, I've got one right here too. I don't know why I haven't. Probably it's one. I just can't reach it for one. I don't think even with the roller ball I'd be able to get it. Maybe. I don't know. The roller. Put the roller ball.
Yeah, dude, Dark Horse is cool as hell.
Yeah.
Hell of a-
Sounds like he's got a pretty cool show over there on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I was checking out his page before we aired, some of his guests, man. He's got some pretty cool guests that he's had over there. Tommy John, Danny Danko, Stone Ninja, bunch of cool people over there.
Yeah, that is sweet. Tommy Chong would be badass, dude.
Yeah, it would be a fun one.
It'd be fun as hell hanging out. Sorry, I'm all typing in chat here. Or will be.
Guilty of doing the same. Trying to roll one up.
Yeah. I gotta get back on schedule, man. I was passing out early last night. So,
I was dog tired, man, last night, but I fucking kept kicking myself in the ass all night long. Get your shit done. Get your shit done.
yeah, you got to. That's the thing, man. Them plants don't stop. They do their thing, and you better be there. Take care of them. It's hard.
Oh no, they do not stop. In fact, the one I took down yesterday was ugly as far as that goes. You know what I mean? On the later side of getting there, all yellow, not all yellow, but yellow. This one here, it's the same, man. All the fucking fan leaves are yellow. Nothing up into the bud, but man, she has sucked everything out of that pot. There's no question. No question that ass will be burning white on that gas.
Doubly flushed, huh?
Yes, sir. There's a couple of times where that's what I'm kind of spoiled. Looks already kind of spoiled on the water, the soil being able to just run through with the filtered hose and just nice. And I had like that girl there, and the one that I took down yesterday, the barbecue gorilla. That's even though it was close to flush time, it got to be flush time because it was in the hand. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, fuck it, it's flush time. spray, 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 spray. So the cutoff with the newts got a little bit early, but she looks like she still finished up nice and dense and all that good shit. She just well flushed. Well flushed is all. That's all.
It's not bad.
According to some, it should be its most flavorful, right? Right? Everything 100% flush. It should be peak. Yeah,
I don't know. I
some
mean,
would say.
there's some lines of thought to that. Like, is the plant, I guess, is there a difference between starving it and senescing at the end? And that's not to
I
argue any points. I'm just saying, is there a difference? Like, I don't know.
I can actually say I've overflushed once or twice. I think overflushing is a thing. You can overflush and fucking ruin
Like
a
too many
fucking run.
weeks, like the last 4 weeks or 5 weeks or something. Is that what you're talking? Start it too soon, basically.
Yeah, started too soon with the just water and just make her, eat everything in the pot, and then it start, eating on herself, starting like the neurosis on herself, just using up everything in the bud, and it just seems to just kill it overall once that starts happening. When she starts eating on herself instead of flushing out, or just to the point where she's either stopped eating. You know what I mean? You've either taken her to the point where she stopped eating, but in this case, she's just taking up nothing but water, and she's used everything in the pot, and now she's started to, eat herself a little bit. Once she starts eating herself a little bit, you're down on the downside. You're way too flush. You're way too flush. It ain't gonna taste good at that.
It's really hard to get that to reverse. And I don't know.
I don't think you can you?
No, I
If you're
mean,
that
not.
far gone in flour?
No, it won't. They won't reverse back. But even in veg, it wouldn't either. Like when the plant reverts to it's kind of like our metabolism. I don't know if you ever heard this, but like when people are starving, like when you reach a certain point of actually like totally starving, your digestive system like shuts down and shit like that, and then you can't just go eat a big meal. You know what I'm saying? Like you get sick because your digestive ain't ready for it or whatever. You got to kind of like prime the system again and get everything going. And it's similar to that when the plant starts metabolizing itself or cannibalizing itself like that. If it's happening like in veg, for instance, it's hard to get that to reverse, I guess. It's because of the way that it deconstructs that, it has to do the conversion back inside the leaf where it normally would do it in the root area as a basic description. So
Better time for it in veg, though. Definitely. Easier to
yeah.
recuperate from, I think, because at that point, if it were anytime it's kind of happened to me in veg where she's got over hungry like that, I know that there's good chance that them leaves will go from yellow back to green. Slowly, they'll repair themselves. But it ain't worth all that shit. In my opinion, it ain't worth the plant trying to repair those older families that they've ate the fucking nutrients out of them and they faded. They will green back up in time, restore some nutrients there. But in my opinion, it's a waste to try to repair them, make that plant repair when you can cut that shit off and make her grow anew. Just put that energy into growing new, healthy instead of new, kind of.
I want to say something about starch, but I want to welcome Red Pill in too before I do. But
Thank you.
to your
Hi, guys.
point, yeah, man, no problem, man.
Red Pill.
Good to see you. I just want to say, so like when I was listening to a lecture from Cornell University, the professor was talking about, so like the first part of the plant's metabolism or at photosynthetic energy, when it starts to do that, it stores it in a form of like starches, and it kind of almost meets its requirement of starches that it's going to need during the dark cycle before it really starts cranking out to other things. But the older leaves have to reach that kind of ability to exceed their own metabolism. So like they're going to photosynthesize enough to make enough sugar to make their own cells stay alive, because all the cells need energy to stay alive, you know what I'm saying? So like even at night they're still burning energy to stay alive. They're taking that up or whatever in whatever form. But I just thought that was interesting, to where there is kind of a point where, you know, an older leaf, if it's not able to photosynthesize enough to meet its own energy requirement, actually does become a sink for other energy. So that'd be the point where you
I've seen that mostly with outdoor plants that get really fucking big before they get even any flower on them. Almost the whole like bottom fifth of it will fade, and it's not because it's deficient in any nutrients. It's just like you said, just that's the part of the plant that it takes because it's the oldest and it has like a tank or a reservoir of nutrients sitting there. But I did want to say another thing too, and when you're talking about the starving versus maybe just fading or flushing, I don't know if you guys would enjoy the way I like to cultivate then, because that's part of a thing that I like to do is leave half the trim to the plant itself. How Eagle likes to wet trim. For me, half of the trimming job is already done through wet trim, because those are the leaves I'm cutting off and pulling off as the plant is finishing. Right? So I don't know if I'm overdoing it, but I always like that. And I how you started off with comparing it to humans, you know, this is a thing where if we want to analyze every single study, we're just going to like argue this is a study and this is a study and they're both proving something. Well, I don't know if everyone knows what eugenics is, but eugenics is basically just the science of selective breeding. It's finding out what genes are, you know, what genes mean certain things and how you can either influence certain things down the line or selectively breed for things or not selectively breed for things, you know, turn certain genes off through there. But the most extensive eugenics research as far as humans go comes from Sweden in the 19th century. I think they had like the longest running eugenics experiment. It was like 160 years or something, starting from like the 1840s to pretty much 2000 or something like that. Well, they figured out that there was a thing going on where climate-wise in this area of Sweden where they were conducting the study, like every other generation had a period in time where their crops barely made it. So they were able to survive, but they kind of had to starve or only live off of what they could produce. And they found out that adolescent males, so during those times where there was droughts or certain like crop failures because of climate reasons, that the males that were in adolescence during that period happened to have kids when they went into adulthood or early adulthood. The kids that they had a higher life expectancy than other kids in generations where they didn't have famine, where they had, you know, plentiful, bountiful harvests of plants. So it was almost something genetically that kicked in, that the phenotypic expression of those children being starved or basically only being able to eat what they could go, you know, survive on, somehow enabled a gene that made their children live longer. And I forget by what percentage it was, like 15 or like 20% more life expectancy.
It's epigenetics right there.
Mm-hmm. So cool. I don't know. I always thought it was like, and it changes. Like I've never gotten to run a plant that takes more than 11 weeks to finish, but it changes because maybe I would extend the amount of nutrients that I want to let the plant, you know, eat on longer. But for me, I like to have fade, you know, just either feed straight water if I was feeding other liquid bottled form nutrients, or like I said, timing it, it's a completely different way of looking at it. But with super soil, I would have to narrow down the plant's metabolism and find an equation of how fast the plant metabolizes food and how big of a pot and how much super soil I need to put in there. Like Subcool figured it out to where some of his strains needed more or less super soil in the mix of the bucket that he was flowering in. Well, I went lazy mode and I just did straight up super soil in the flowering bucket. But from there, I figured out plants that they didn't metabolize fast and it was in too big of a bucket and had held on to way too much nutrients by harvest time. And then the exact opposite, plants had a super fast metabolism and was in too small a bucket. So it would look really weird for me to grow a super soil garden because you'd come to my garden, there would be 1 gallon plants, 3 gallon plants, 5 gallon plants. I'm like, yeah, but they all finish at the exact same time and they all start fading at the same exact time. So that's where I'm at.
So we're talking a little bit about flush, and I seen the question in chat there about flushing living organics. I don't think there is such a thing. I think there's a point where you would quit giving it any types of teas or top dressings, but I think that would be as close as, a flush, cutting off on, your nutrients, if you will. But I think at that point, it's water only, and you're more or less counting on the plant to, you know, senescence, right? Basically, and then when she starts dying off, stops taking up nutrients. There's no such thing as a flush. You're just waiting for her. You're watering past the point where she's stopped taking up nutrients. She's kind of just refused it at that point.
That was the same debate about super soil. Because people would say that you don't have to flush super soil, but really what they were trying to say to people is with super soil, you feed water majority of the time, or maybe throughout the whole entire plant cycle. So when normal hydroponic growers, they're growing with a nutrient solution up until the last 2 weeks of flower, and then they're feeding straight water. And that's what they call flushing. But because you're in super soil and you're feeding straight water anyways, like I said, the plant depletes the amount of nutrients that is in that pot or in that soil. And if you narrow it down or figure it out based on that cultivar or how much soil you have to start out with, you can nail it exactly the same exact way a hydro grower will do it, where there's all its nutrients is totally absorbed and utilized by day 40, 42, and you harvest on day 56. That in between time was just the plant senescing, fading, and taking sugars and devoting them to secondary metabolites. You can do that. Sometimes it doesn't always work. Like I said, I've had plants start fading like at day 21, way too early. And then other plants that it's still dark green at like day 56, then that weed doesn't burn too well. The joint test is how I at least went off of it. Like there's weed that of course you can burn in a bowl and a bong, but right when it's done drying, after it's been curing in a jar for like a week, 2 weeks, you would burn it in a joint and see how well of a job you would do growing it and flushing it based on how well that joint stayed lit and how dark that ash was. Maybe I'm, like I said, more old school and people are like, the white ash doesn't matter. My cigarette burns white ash, blibbity blah. Yeah, but that's what I go off of at least.
Oh, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
There are tricks though. I mean, like the idea of, so I guess when I think of a flush, I think of to run off. You know what I'm saying? Like you're actually running water through that media and you're trying to get whatever soluble nutrients are in the media at that time. You're trying to get those run off in the water source, you know what I'm saying? And then you let that media dry out and then you do it maybe a second time. Like I never really got into doing a big flush, but the one guy I remember doing it had a basically a work wash tub or whatever, that he had kind of set up to do that, and he had like a flood and drain table, so he would set them right in the wash tub. He could run the water just right through it, you know what I'm saying? Like it would just sit there and pour out down the drain, and then he would set it in his other flood and drain kind of table and let it drain out the rest of the way or whatever. But yeah, he had a program where he did that kind of a aggressive flush to it like that. And I know like Grandmaster Level will do that too. I think he runs quite a bit of water through his medias.
Yeah, I saw a person that they were growing, I think, in like 10-inch square pots, but basically small enough where they could take that whole plant and put it in a sink and literally just rinse water through it till it was 0 parts per million.
Let me ask you this, Smiley. I've seen back when I've seen people harvest and actually take that branch, part of that plant, strip it down, stick it into a 2 liter of water, let it sit in there for a day, just like you would a rose. So like uptake nothing but fresh water. And again, I'm not saying it's word, it's like myth, whatever. I've seen it done. I'm not saying I'm promoting the tech or whatever. But again, I think the plant there is done when it's done. You know, I don't think you're flushing anything out of it. You know what I mean? You're only going to make what's available. You're going to get less and less of what's available in the pot. But my question to you is, as far as flush, just like I was using the 2 liter water as an example for its last moment of uptake and count as a flush. You know what I mean? Its last breath of hurrah. When you wash your cannabis and you wet it, your last dunk there, I would assume, is in a fresh, clean thing of water. Now, do you think that refreshing water that's sitting on there, through its final dry there, it's actually absorbed into the plant? It doesn't just trickle off. I'm sure just like a foliar, some of it's ingested by the plant. Do you think that helps it in its like a flushing stage? Because that last moment it got nothing but, a water, no nutrients, just water. It ingested that last, moments it was alive. Do you think it helps at all? Would you say it helps in like a flush, if you could?
No, not as far as like
It helped because I've kind of come up with this theory as well. Maybe you can shoot some holes in this. As far as like a wet trim or a dry trim. Hold on, Red Pill. I haven't even said nothing yet. You're already coming back. Jeez, the hang there, fucking. So, do you think that when people talk about hanging the plant, just chopping it, hanging it, increasing terps, the leaves coming around are protecting those terps? I've got a different opinion on that, to be honest with you, because just like you take a flower, you put it in a fucking vase, it's not dead. You know what I mean? It's gonna continue to flower for a minute. You know what I mean? Uptake that water, and I believe the cannabis would do that too. But that's a side note. But either way, this is what I'm saying. That plant is still living until the moment she is 100% dry. Then she's dead. I think that's her last breath. When she's completely dry, she's fucking done. So with that being said, do you think part of the chop and drop, fucking hang it, is the extra nutrient availability in them leaves? It isn't just they're wrapping around the bud. Do you think they're also pulling out some type of, drink off them leaves and a little bit of fucking nutrients to fight, keep fighting along, maybe going through, helping it in a final cure or dry, changing it maybe a little bit in its final stages, versus somebody like me that goes in and fucking chops everything clean to the bud and then hangs? Do you think that's the difference, is the nutrient availability that's still in the plant with the leaves?
I think it depends on the water activity through it. And yes, a whole plant hang would have a longer amount of water activity. So it would be able to, you're not going to move nutrients, so to speak, but the plant's going to shut down, right? It's not going to do photosynthesis. So you're not really going to transpire that water around at all. But I do think it possibly gives the plant extra time, like you say, as it's dying, to kind of convert some of those last sugars and starches and things into whatever it's trying to, finish in the bud in some sort of way. So possibly a terpene might be something that it's trying to form so that it can give an aromatic whatever, a last distress call, so to speak. I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of thought that could go into it, but it's, how do you prove any of that shit? You know what I mean? Like it's just speculation. So.
Well, the only thing I can think of is it could possibly be that, like, if you did do that vase or vase technique, right, to the colas as you cut them down, if you did set them out in front of like a window, it would have a little photosynthesis, a little bit, right, for a short time. So maybe there is a little bit of suck up of extra nutrients. Like let's say we get fan leaves. Let's say you do a de-leafing as the plant's living. And then you got the secondary leaves that kind of grow in replace of those. And then those fade, and then you do the wet trim on those. And then you're just down to the tight sugar leaves that are down on the bud. And then you cut the stems, you put them in the vase. Then maybe after a day or two, those little sugar leaves kind of crisp up, but the bud itself is still supple. You can do a little secondary trim on it to get down with all those little leaves that you left. Now, the thing that I think of is maybe it does something to the osmosis effect of curing, to where when you're curing and you have a wet stem and a dry flower, and then you seal it in a jar, you have the osmosis of the air and the water being drawn from the stem into that flower. And then you burp it, and then you do that a couple periods of times, and the air and the water off gases off the surface of the flower from there. So maybe, I don't know, I don't know if it would, but I think maybe because it's holding on to more moisture, it'd be harder to cure, or more things could go wrong in the cure because you're trying to shed off more moisture out of those buds because they were just sitting like a straw in that water. That's the only thing I know. Like I said, I never knew anyone that even attempted that or experimented with it. So I don't know, but that's the first thing I think of is either it's a whole new tech and it improves the quality of curing, or it's something you do and it makes it a lot harder to cure. So.
I think it makes it a lot harder to cure.
So, Smiley, if you take the sun, like the light out of it in your equation, you say, she stops photosynthesis as soon as you take the light away. So she can't be doing much, you know what I mean, for activity. So, with that being said, then why would you, what would be the benefit of like 48 hours of darkness before your job? If nothing's going on during that dark phase, and it's not using up any nutrients or taking in any moisture from the leaves, what would be the purpose? And those who believe in the darkness period before a job, if nothing's going on during that period.
I didn't say nothing was going on during that period. There wasn't photosynthesis going on during that period. So the plant's using energy that it has stored up in order to keep alive. So it's the same reason why we need to eat, because we don't photosynthesize. We got to take that energy in through the food we eat and whatever. You know what I mean? Your digestive system gets the energy out of that for us to do our normal day. The plant kind of operates similarly in the night, to my understanding, where it shifts away from using photosynthetic energy that's being produced currently as an energy source to actually having to deconstruct the starches and some of the forms that it stores that energy in during the day. So it's kind of
the old hump of the camel.
So, and at the night cycle, I'm not sure, man. I mean, I'm sure it's going to start using up more of those sugars and reserves. It'd be like if we stopped eating, right? Like, you're going to start burning up your fats first or whatever, you know, however that chain goes, but it eventually gets to your proteins and your muscles because you're trying to keep energy, so your body's going to get it from something, and their body would be the same if, you know what I mean, if it went too long where they're not, you know, not refilling those energy pools, so to speak, you know what I mean?
You know that, so you're basically just confirming everything I said, at least in my mind, that the plant is using nutrients and stored energy from the leaves through the hang and dry process versus you know, the same plant. I could take two side by side. You know what I mean? Strip one down, strip all the fan leaves off, fucking hang it, take the same exact strain, leave all the fans on it, let it hang. I believe that the one that still has the fan leaves, it has a lot more chance for a completely different cure because of the nutrient availability.
Especially if you left it on there and it was green, right? Not just like, we're not talking about like a fully faded plant that you hang upside down, but now you're cutting a whole plant down, whole plant, hang dry, but it wasn't faded too. So now there's green leaves on it that during the entire drying process are being
So basically,
strong.
in a nutshell, that's what I'm getting at, Smiley. I don't think it's just the wraparound effect of the leaves actually surrounding the buds and holding the terps in. I think it's the stored in what in your more like your terms, the stored energy availability of the leaves on the plant for a different cure. I think that's more to the point than the leaves storing in the terps. I'm sure maybe that has somewhat of a cure effect, but I think the difference is the nutrient or the energy availability in the long term.
Yeah. It's still going to need the water activity, though. I mean, it'll have to have moisture in order to be able to even move and do the processes with the sugars, and you know what I mean. So I don't know. I'm not sure, man. I'm not that in depth on that, I guess. I don't know. It's all just brainstorming ideas.
Right? It's nothing I'm practicing either because I'm fixing to chop all the leaves off this fucking plant.
I was going to
Straight
say,
down to the buds and put it in the dryer.
Was that one of those situations where you're like, my buddy does this tech, but really you meant you do the tech?
No. I've never just chopped her and left her hang. It's to me.
Okay.
Well, I listen to everybody and their opinions on all that shit, but to me, the reason I don't like it is because it's just putting off work, basically. I like the wet trim because when it's done, it's done. I can bank on that shit. It's done. When I fucking chop it and hang it upside down, yeah, I've harvested, but there's still work. There's still work that
one little cheap trick we would do to at least have the plants be easier to hang is because I said I would top plants and then kind of let them grow out more so they'd have many colas on them. Well, I would cut right beneath the Y or that split, and then I'd hang on the line by that Y little part. And then it hangs and sits on the line perfect. So I wasn't totally full cutting the plant down, hanging it, but there was a lot of two cola actions. There's two colas hanging from one branch on the line, I think some people call it the armpit.
Yeah, you got to shave your armpits.
Mm-hmm.
Swim faster.
Aerodynamic or hydrodynamic, I guess.
Right.
So it blows my mind sometimes how well people listen in the chat or to the show. Because the other night there's a couple of things I said during the show. Somebody picked up on. thought that was cool. I was not expecting anything today, and I go check the mailbox. Fucking slip, go to the post office. Oh shit! Oh shit! It's Detroit River Rat. Oh shit! So I go fucking pick it up. And the other night, Teacher B asked me about my pipes. All right, what kind of glass I had, and I referred to this skull that Detroit River Rat said.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got a green skull. I love it. I don't use it as much as I'd like to use it because I'm afraid I break it. I love it, so I don't want to. I don't want to break it. So, what do I get in the mail today? Well, there was two things that I spoke up about. And another one was not going fishing with my girls and not being able to. I'd never really taken my youngest Coon fishing. So I pick up the box today. In the box is another green skull.
You got a backup now? Use your fucking bong, dude.
Said, don't worry about it. You got to back up. Use that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's fucking awesome.
And take your daughter fishing.
That's cool. Those are badass lures too. Hell yeah.
I thought that was just fucking amazing.
It's like, funny.
It was funny. So of course I got the other one on. I'm like, okay, now I can. I cherish it. You know what I mean? I know me with glass, and it's like a good example is the fucking tray, fucking Canna Queen sent. I think that shit was awesome, man. I got it up there on my fucking shelf. Hasn't seen shit. I actually said at one point I was going to put change on it, and somebody was like, "Nah, you'll just ding it all up." This is what comes of a tray. You know what I mean? This is what comes of tray. I don't want my beautiful squirrel episode King and Queen tray to look like this. You know what I mean? It should, it's a tray. It's made for rolling and all that good shit. But I want it to be a memory. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I was with the pipe, man. I love the fact that people take time and go, I think he'd like that. That's the best gift right there.
I would treat that tray as a backdrop to take nug shot pictures of. I wouldn't roll on it, break the weed up on it, but I would lay the buds down on top of it and take real nice pictures so that art is the backdrop of the nugs.
Yeah.
More brainstorming.
Except it's shiny. You got to get the flat black one so you can take pictures.
It's pretty shiny. I like shiny things, so.
It was like the first thing I thought of too, because the first time you showed that roll tray, I was like, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be taking pictures of my nugs on top of that. I was thinking like, well, I wouldn't be flash fucking pictures. So.
Yeah, I'm a high gloss guy myself. Anything that I make, I fucking high gloss. High gloss on all my furniture, all that shit. High gloss is honestly, I like the pop of it. You know what I mean on the piece. I like that, and then durability comes with that high gloss too. It's just a harder finish. The semi, they just get softer down the line. It means more repair, all that good shit. So why not just make it? And there's something, you've never walked into, a high dollar furniture place, whatever, and seen a nice furniture piece with a dull finish. You know what I mean? It's always so polished. It's fucking looks like it's been covered in glass or some shit like that. You know, that's what I want to walk up to my piece and go, wow, look at that wood grain, and then stand above it and go, God damn, I need to fucking shave. It's so glossy, you know what I mean? You can see your reflection in that thing.
Oh yeah, I get you. Shiny stuff. How's the Colombians coming along?
Pretty sure. Water.
Oh,
So
holy shit! They're
I had fucking 8 out of 10. All right. And then there was the 2 that were lagging, and the one I dumped kibacha on is this little guy. It made it, but then I had 8 that were here, but one of them, when it was transplanted, when I was like moving this around, fell over and bent on a 90. It pinched, and I tried like a motherfucker. I fucking propped it up, babied the shit out of it, and it fucking fell. But I've still got 8 standing.
Yeah,
It's just this one was a little bit laggy. Like she's like a few days behind.
Nice. Yeah, they're a little bigger than the ones the Jack Skillingtons. You started them sooner though, didn't you? A couple days or a week. Something.
I don't know about that. No. I think I might have dropped them maybe the day I sent your package. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, they're just setting the first set of true leaves, so yours looked like they had 2 already. Working on the 3rd.
Yeah. They got like 3 fingers. There
you go. It's kind of a trip that all those cells, the mother cells, all originate in that meristem. Trying to think, I think it was ATG or somebody had a picture of that posted up. Man, it was Jack Greenstock had a picture of the on a story of the apical meristem, and you could actually see the cells. Like it was that kind of close of a picture, you know, because that meristem is actually where, like, every cell in the plant, the original origin comes from those meristem cells, based off from how it creates the mother cells, and then from the mother cells that replicate into the daughter cells from there. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty kick-ass shit, though. It's wild to see that, because you could actually see the whole formation of the plant coming out. You know what I mean? It's like a mini printer or whatever. Johnny. He's got us all beat with the jersey on.
Cheers, Johnny.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Johnny?
I got can you see that? I can't see the light. I got a beam coming out in the sand right there, in the regular sand, the wash sand. So I got one coming out here. Only got one over here so far.
Johnny's Sandbox. We're gonna have to change your name.
Yeah, playing in the sand.
Johnny Canna stand.
That's cool, man. I'm glad that stuff's working good for you.
Sandbox genetics.
Yeah, you gotta
and that's
tech that works, you know, and that works for them.
Yeah, there's quite a few people that are already excited about this type of stuff, and they're giving it a shot. Somebody sent me a text the other day. They were telling me the first time they were excited to go to Home Depot in a long time.
So what are you gonna? You got to start a hashtag now. It's like hashtag Sandtech or some shit. Maybe.
Johnny Canna sand.
No, it can't be that. It's Johnny Tennessee.
Hashtag Sandtech. They got avocado tech, hashtag guacamole. So
How about this is how you're gonna end up growing on Mars tech? Okay. How about that? Because they don't got soil on Mars. It's just a bunch of sand.
Oh, you know they got good soil up on Mars.
you think so?
Oh yeah, I saw that movie, man. That guy grew dirt and he grew potatoes in it.
Yeah, but he had to pull the biology for it. He had to build the environment first, and then pull the biology out of the
Urea.
shit bags that they had, and then he had to plant them. So you can't just plant right into that without the
I know.
atmosphere, the
I
biology.
know you appreciated that movie, Smiley. I know you did.
I did. I loved it. Yeah. It's some kick-ass shit.
I liked it because of that part of it, you know, that they were growing, you know, being the first Martian ever to grow, colonize.
Wasn't
That's funny.
that a ripoff of a 90s movie? Didn't they already have a 90s movie where they all went to Mars and there was like one dude that had a greenhouse and they like met up with him and they like hopped in a rover and they went to the face on Mars and the face opened up and then the guy went to the fucking planet that all the other aliens that seeded Earth went to.
Yeah, what was that? That had
Total Recall?
no,
What?
that wasn't Total Recall. No, that was not Total Recall. I know which one he's talking about.
Someone will help us out.
Yeah, but
Someone
I
in
can't
chat
remember.
knows it.
Somebody will come up with that. I remember that. That was a good one.
I
I
love
enjoyed that.
chats. A lot of the times I don't have a live audience. It's just the voices in my head and I can't ask them shit, you know. So
Boy, if they start answer well, if you ask them and they start answering you back, I'd turn the channel.
call the doctor. That's what I'd do.
Yeah, I'd turn the channel for sure. Yeah, so I took my my baby down outside. Man, she had purple all over the tops of her leaves, on the underneath. It was gorgeous.
Cool.
I got her in my my herbs now drying right now.
Oh shit. Do like a matter of hours. You smoking that.
But I didn't. Let me tell you what, man. It was so sticky.
Oh yeah.
It really was. Being outside, it was a lot more. It didn't have the girth like one of these would, you know, a thicker, solid. But it was more of a
lot more leaf than calyx.
Trichome
more covered leaves is what it was. You know, the smaller leaves coming out, but it was beautiful.
They say it started the response to the UV or whatever. So what a lot of people claim.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that at all. I mean, I got pictures of it. I don't know if I put that.
It's like that in high altitude places and deserts. When you travel the world and you look at plants outside of cannabis, there's glandular trichomes that cover the whole plant, you know, from stem to flower in other plants like cactuses or other things that grow out in the desert.
Even the stems were sticking out the stem. Yeah.
Yeah, there's trichomes all up and down the stem too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like if you boil it and make stem tea, it's good.
Yep, that's the whole purpose of the stem.
Watch this cat on YouTube one time wash stems for like a bubble hash just to see if he could reclaim if there was anything on them. He actually got, you know, hash off the stems, but I was surprised about what he got off the stems.
Did he get a decent
amount? It was worth. Oh, it was more work than it was worth. But the point,
Did
I
it
think the
look
point
good?
was that there was some there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He actually got something out of it, which is, that's what he was. That's what he was testing for.
Yeah, I bet
Gotta
you.
appreciate that.
Bet you there's good use with the roots too. Like we've talked about that too before, how good they'll smell or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I bet you there's a lot there. So
I've
maybe,
got a lot of roots and stems and everything that I need to grind up in my I got a chipper.
yeah.
I actually seen John Burfello do that. I don't know how good and accurate his testing machine was, but yes, I think his own GC machine, and he tested roots, and yeah, they got like 1% to 2% THC and other cannabinoids in them. So if you did have a huge ass DWC bucket and you had just this fat mass of roots, the roots actually have more water weight than plant matter does. So if you weigh something that weighs like 500 grams wet and you dry it out and it's actually just 100 grams of bud there or whatever, I think it's a 10-to-1 ratio of how wet, how much water weight is in the roots. But still, if you have a whole excess, if you have abundance of roots, you can do extractions of it. Get you probably get more than 2% yield off your roots.
So extractions, as far as you'd be talking about, like making
alcohol, butane, CO2, solvent-based extraction.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind it up, and I'm going to reintroduce it to my my soil.
Smart.
Yeah, I figure it's got all the nutrients from the other plants that I've had in them. And I grind that up, and I could even pulverize it down to a dust if I wanted to. But I think if I just put it through my chipper, and it's just a small chipper, not a great big one, and I'll just run it into a bucket, and heck, I could even
use it as a mulch.
Yeah, I could use it as a mulch, or I could even use it to do one of those KNFs. I could put some brown sugar over it, let it.
Yeah, but you're more gonna want to do that with stuff that's got freshly picked for the brown sugar stuff. My understanding.
Okay.
Yeah, dried stems. So the dry sugar, when you pour it on the plant material that's wet, it has an osmotic pressure it puts, so it can actually draw the water that's inside the cells out into the sugar, and that's how it actually forms the
moisture.
juice, is because the sugar is drawing that moisture to it. You know what I'm saying? So then when you remove the plant material, you have the plant juice, so to speak, that got osmotically drawn out of the cells. So like if you crush them, then you're kind of juicing it. You're breaking the cells yourself to release the liquid,
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Got to be live material, not dead.
That's why I like pouring a liquid with molasses on them. It's a different process than actually having it. It's not necessarily using that osmotic pressure. It's more of a liquid fermentation at that point.
So I could do that with the dry stems?
I mean, that would be the way you'd have to do it, I think, but I don't think you're going to want to. I don't think there's much benefit to it. Like,
okay.
My understanding, the technique is used for like freshly growing shoots, and you know what I'm saying? There's like talk of like trying to harvest that stuff in the morning when there's dew hanging on it and certain things like that. So you're really trying to capture the biology there along with the benefit of some of the nutrient. But depending on how they're made, they can be really fucking potent with nutrient in those too. So it's
Well, I was thinking more in the line of it being as kind of like a reamendment to my soil when I'm putting stuff back into it, and then I let it sit for like 3 months. You know,
yeah.
that's what I do that with some of my soil when I take out. Like after I've run a couple of runs through a pot, I'll take that and I'll dump that into a bin, and then mix it up, and I'll put more dry organic type nutrients, and then I'll put my ground up leaves that I have that I've pulverized down to a dust. I put that in there, and just different stuff that I have, you know, that like the Job's vegetable and tomato, you know, that stuff, the Biozone stuff. I'll put that in there, and I mix it all up, and then I water it. I put a little water in there, and then I put the lid down on it, and I don't mess with it for a while, and I just let it sit.
Yeah, if you have the way to pulverize that stuff, I don't know that you would have to do a FTJ or any of that stuff. I think there's probably different benefits for it, but if you can powderize it, I think you could just water it in or top dress it on and water it in like that, you know. Because, yeah, I mean, you're in soil, it's going to have the biology there. You're just adding, it's like, it'd be like adding alfalfa or whatever, soybean, you know what I mean? The meals, you're basically making similar to a meal, you're grinding it all up, you know what I mean? So it'd be,
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's,
Yeah, you know,
I think it's a good idea,
there
John.
was,
I do. I like it.
well, I've been saving my roots and my stems just for that purpose, and I'm to a point now where I need to grind it up. You know, it's to that point, and it won't take that much. Just got to sit in front of it, and just feed it. You know, and it'll do all the work.
Yeah, but I think if you're trying to do something else with like the roots, I think it's going to be kind of key to do it when it's really like,
When they're fresh.
yeah, when there's still some moisture activity going on in there.
So you think when the
The only
roots
people I've
are
really seen do those root ferments was like World's Last Hope, and then that KNF Garden guy kind of do the same looking one, but
but
it's like
they were doing it at
or whatever. So I'm sure there's plenty of other people doing them, but they just they throw it in the water, and then you're not even trying to use a food source. You're just trying to let that biology grow out as that root source. That's why that SCOBY kind of forms. I don't think they really add any sugar or anything, but maybe they did. I don't know. But I think you're trying.
now, please tell me if this is completely apples and oranges, but is a root ferment any better or the same exact as a seed sprout ferment or tea?
It'd be
Would
different.
you want the like?
I think the seed sprout ferment would be better than the root.
That's where I'm at too, because the roots are that I don't want to say the end of the plant, but you would want to take, in my mind, like tap roots would be a better root ferment than root ferment at the harvest, the root ball at the end harvest. I don't know if it's because I'm thinking of plants like it's humans and vampires, and you want to like vampirize young blood to stay young or something like that. But if there's any relation to that cannabis for younger things, or that could be the opposite too. Like say if you want to feed certain plant ferments to cannabis, let's say, but you want to do it because you want to introduce the hormones that you're expecting at that period of growth, like hormones that are better for the onset of flowers, or the hormones that are better for vegetative growth, right? So you want to do a little bit older than that. So like say you can find plants that you make a ferment out of that already have that hormone present in it, and then you feed it to the cannabis that it's just about to be staged where it's going to start producing that hormone. So you're basically supplementing it And I don't know if it's an even deeper discussion to say like, yeah, you are supplementing it. And now does the plant give up on producing its own hormone? Is it like a drug? Did you hook the drug or the plant on a hormone drug and now it's dependent on it to where it's not going to produce its own hormones? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think the plant's always going to try to balance itself. So if you're putting in hormones, it's going to stop production. That's the way the plant cells will react to that. All of a sudden you have an abundance, and the abundance of that actually triggers the shutoff of the production of that until it comes back into the balance of where the plant wants. So I don't know, there was one case I heard about that basically there was like a fungus that would infect a certain crop, and it basically caused it blocked the off receptor of the GA3 production, so the plant couldn't. It basically was giving it the gibberellic acid, and it's basically what it was doing, and it did that in order to cause a wicked stretch in the plant. And that wicked stretch would actually cause the plant to be more susceptible to falling over. It would get a lot tippier. And if the plant fell over, it made this perfect environment for that fungi to like totally overtake the plant and just consume it, kill it, and do its thing. So it was pretty interesting that because like it's an interesting fact because like we always talk about this hormone does this and this hormone does that, but there's like this balance of hormones that does this, so like cytokine, for example, does a number of different things. So does auxin does a number of different things, but it all depends on what, where the receptors are for that hormone, and that triggers the effect of that hormone to actually have an effect on that cell is where the receptors are. So just having the presence of the hormone doesn't mean that cell is going to respond to it. It also has to have the receptor for that hormone in order to be getting it into the cell in order to do the response it wants. So that's kind of the way that the plant can control where those hormones are going, is based off where those receptors are, if they're on or off inside that cell. Now, the point being there is we're just basically going in there and flipping a bunch of fucking switches. Like, ha, motherfucker, flip a bunch of switches and fucking, like we threw the balance way the fuck off from what it wanted when we're spraying some kind of add-on hormone like that. It's not just a matter of like going, I want this to happen in the plant, so I'm going to spray this hormone. It's you're shifting that balance, and there's other hormones to be considered. It's not just the one you're talking about. That's all I'm trying to get a point across about. They all kind of work together, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. Too deep?
No, it's just like an engine.
You got to run an engine on certain kind of fuel, right?
Some of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can't put oil in the gas tank, right?
I was gonna say, there's some engines you can, man. They fucking run on anything. The Army makes them that way, like some of the diesel engines.
At the same time, with saying that, you can say the plant's a weed, man. It can survive on its own. Doesn't matter what you feed it. That kind of stuff.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, you give it stuff. It'll take what it wants.
Well, yeah, you can plant seeds in Chernobyl and they'll do just fine. There's weed plants growing in Chernobyl right now, and I bet you they look amazing.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty exotic looking buds. Cut them three-eyed frogs. Right?
Yeah. No. Maybe it works that way.
I don't know.
I'm waiting for one of them to like uproot and start walking.
there are trees that do that. There is. Unless I was paying attention to some Dr. Seuss shit in like second grade, I could have swore I saw a documentary where there is a tree species that does literally walk. Like it moves its roots and it goes from one spot to another in the process of the whole tree's lifetime. It's not fast. It's not like it's going, but it does uproot and then reroot, uproot, reroot, uproot, reroot. Find moisture.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
The will to live, man, is pretty amazing, and in a lot of different things, you know. So, yeah, I think that's the like we're the only creatures that really have the free will to choose to become less than what we were designed to be or created to be. You know what I mean? That's another interesting fact, though. Like everything else in nature, no matter what, it's always striving to do everything it can to be the best it could be. That, you know what I mean? Like a tree, it's always reaching for the sun, or a plant, they're always reaching around. It's like
it's reaching down for the water. It's reaching up for the sun. Yeah,
right, like a deer. Yeah, like a buck is gonna always be the toughest fucking buck on the block, right? He's always gonna fucking puff his chest out and do his thing. Like it's. I don't know. There's not really. We're the only ones that get to choose to be less than that, you know.
Well, I'm gonna go way crazyville right here, but that's because I believe everything is a simulation, and those are just roles. The deers and the animals and all that, they're just actors, and that's just their role in the play.
They're just kind of Borgs.
Okay.
They're what exists whether we're here or we're not. They're in the background. They're eating grass and pooping out organisms, right? It's just we can be 100% detached to that, and we can be 100% attached to that. It doesn't matter. Like it's like the deepest depths of the ocean. If you believe in simulation theory, you can only experience something, and it's only exists if you visualize it, or you can see it or sense it. Use your 5 senses to interpret what it is. And it's like a video game where you have an entire map of a video game. Well, the only thing that's that comes up and that the game tries to make into visual patterns and stuff is what you're around. So like say you're in a building in a video game, that video game isn't making the whole scenery of, the other side of the map that's like a desert or a valley or something like that. So the same thing, simulation's sake, is with the bottom of the ocean. And then it's like is a tree falling in the woods, does that make a sound if no one is around to hear it? Or the Schrodinger's cat, anyone knows what that is? I think that's all silly when you get down to it, but at a certain extent that there's a lot of shit going on, but for the process of the machine to play that out, it doesn't need to do it. There's like 7.5 billion different experiences of humans taking place. And that's enough to account for everything that's going on in the world. And then like when you look at a computer processor, it's doing a whole bunch of mathematical equations as a whole bunch of different systems or programs and software is running in the background. But you don't got to pay attention to it. It's like your heartbeat or your eyes blinking. You don't have to physically make your heart beat or your eyes blink. It does that automatically. So the same as that I think about with the animals and the other process of the tides and the oceans and the cycles of the moon and all that. That's all the simulation. That's like the clock ticking away. That we're all running off of.
That was a deep explanation.
Yeah, man.
That is deep.
All that means is if you believe it's really real or not. Like, is the bottom of the ocean somewhere where you can't access? Is that a real physical place, or does it only exist if you go out there and try to look for it? Right, and it's actually a good way of utilizing resources and energy, because if there was a simulation that had to account for every square millimeter of the entire map of the earth or whatever, you'd have to have a huge ass computer or machine to do that and process it, versus only accounting for what we can see in front of our eyes, and everything else is literally just not generated on the map until we go out there and look at it. Like, they would say that, like, I don't know how many people are watching right now. I don't know how many different places that there are, but let's just say, like, there's no one right now watching from Madagascar. If you're the one person in Madagascar watching right now, shout outs to you. But I just picked that place at random. But supposedly Madagascar doesn't exist. Right? It only exists if someone is there to experience it.
Okay.
Matrix.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going way deep into the simulation theory.
Matrix.
Oh, I get the theory. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're trying to get at with it. I don't know. It still exists. Yes, a tree makes a noise if it falls. It has to. How would it not?
Well, what I'm saying is those are background processes that we don't need to be there for them to occur. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we all go to sleep right now, how do you know the world that you wake up in the next day is the world that you left from the night before?
Simulation theory sounds pretty self-centered to me. I don't know. Why do you think
self-centered?
It sounds like you're making yourself the center of the universe and nothing happens unless you're there to see it. But I think, yeah, if fucking tree fell, it makes a concussion. There's a vibration that goes out from that. That's gonna happen whether you're there to hear it or not, you know? That's all I'm saying. Like, that tree still exists before you saw it.
I guess what I'm trying to ask is, how can you account for that? Do you know what fish are doing under the ocean right now? Do you sense those trees falling in the woods?
I know what fish are doing
right now.
Swimming.
Do you know the exact amount of volcanoes that are active right now? Are you aware of all those processes?
Yeah, there's 21 going off right now.
Doesn't mean that they're not going off, though, just because I'm not aware of them. Like, I'm not aware of all the stuff happening in the rainforest either. It doesn't mean it's not happening. That's what I'm getting.
So, like, right now, supposedly every second that passes, the Earth is getting struck by 1,000 bolts of lightning. I don't know if anyone's ever heard that. But is there any lightning occurring out of the 4 people that are here in the call right now and 100 that are watching or so? Is there any lightning that anyone hears in the background, or thunder and lightning? Supposedly right now, there's every single second that passes, there's 1,000 strikes of lightning. Look it up on Google. If you don't believe me, that's what they say.
I don't know what the point is, though.
Yeah, I'm still not. I'm not
I'm
following.
not following what you're trying to get at, man. I'm kind of lost on it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to get at anything. I'm just, at this point, just saying things. There's no conclusion to what I'm saying.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm not trying to be like, aha, and this is how you get 30% THC in your weed. Yeah, that's.
I guess I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there to witness Mount St. Helens blowing up either, but I know it did. You know what I mean? Like,
I was. I saw it blow. I actually went up onto the mountain after it blew 2 weeks afterwards. Went through the barricade. camped out overnight, woke up and we smoked out, drank beer. Yeah, it was a good time. I felt the percussion of Mount St. Helens when it blew. I was actually hiking up on Multnomah Falls in the Columbia Gorge, Portland, Oregon, on the outskirts.
That's cool. They're
Yeah.
pretty
It was.
What year did that blow up again? I forgot.
It was 80, 81, 82, I think.
Because I was pretty young. I remember my mom and aunts talking about it because my one aunt lived out west. My mom's from California and all that. But I was born in '78, so that I must have been like what 3 years old or something.
Yeah.
Because I remember they had ashes from it.
I had mason jars full of it.
Yeah.
And you know that kind of
shit on your soil. You still got that? That's your volcanic ash right there.
No, my ex threw it away. She thought that was stupid to have ash
Well, it is
in a jar.
It's dumb, Johnny.
Right? You know, so it was a good thing she threw it away because it was making me stupid. It was a memory. You know what I'm saying? I scooped that off of a car and put it into a jar.
Yeah.
I said, someday this will be worth something.
You think it would be? There's got to be people that still got that. I guarantee there's people that still got ash from that or whatever. You think it's worth something?
No, all their damn girlfriends made them throw it in the trash.
Oh.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you know.
It's like why there's no skunk anymore. There's no skunk because everyone with skunk got busted growing it. There's no one with Mount St. Helens ash because their damn girlfriends made them throw it away.
Yeah, I remember back in that time they had a lot of buses running. And they all broke down. Couldn't figure out why they were breaking down. And I said, well, it's sucking in glass, basically.
Yeah.
You know, jacking up the inside of the engine.
It's really dangerous to breathe that shit too.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't go out into it. I stayed inside while that stuff was coming down. It was amazing.
Like
it was almost like I was gonna say it was almost like snow.
That's wild. Imagine, man. I've seen pictures where there's inches on top of cars and shit like that.
Yeah, we had like 2-3 inches of on top of the cars. You know, it was just amazing. But that whole area that got wiped out, it is so lush right now.
Yeah.
From all that rebirth of everything that happened.
Well, it's all micronutrient, and that's why we're trying to put basalt and shit on our soil. It just got covered with it.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's why Oregon is such a great place to grow weed, is because of that moment.
Certain areas, yeah.
I mean, because if you think about that whole area was coated in ash. And where did it go? Down into the rivers.
Yeah, I was going to say the rivers are going to get a lot of it because of the rain and everything, but some will get carried into the soil. And no doubt, man. It's definitely how things work, you know. It's interesting as shit, but that's why
every time
Hawaii's lush, you know, like Hawaii too. That's all about volcanoes, you know, like the whole island or whatever. So
every time they'd have a forest fire and shit like that, man, the stuff would grow back in our heartbeat, you know, because it was doing its natural thing. It was doing a burn, and then afterwards it had the, you know, the char of everything, and then it would just rebirth.
And there's certain trees that don't drop seed unless they're burnt. Like I thought there was a certain pine tree that had to.
That's exactly right. There's some
Pine
certain
cones
pine
don't open unless there's a fire or something like that. So like every so often they need a forest fire to actually keep this certain plant alive or certain species.
Yep.
It's so interesting how stuff's interwoven like that. You know, you wouldn't think that a simulator would worry about that, but I don't know.
But think about it, man. They got those fissures down at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
That the temperature of that stuff coming out of there is super, super hot. There's just no way anything could be living down there, but they got microorganisms and crabs and stuff that eat off of that stuff down there in that heat.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like
it's their own
there's
little
such-
ecosystem. That's their whole existence, is that little world by that volcano vent or whatever. If they get so far away from it, they die. You know, it's fucking wild.
Right, and we'd have never known about that unless we had an unmanned vehicle to go down there and look at that shit.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'd have never known anything about that. I mean, we've been finding so many different types of animals, like Red Pill was saying the other day when tsunami hit in Sri Lanka. They found a lot of different types of species that just blew up onto the shore that they didn't know about. You know, so we don't know what's in our ocean. We really don't. That's less explored than the moon.
Well, I don't want to circle it back to what I said earlier about not knowing what's in the ocean until you
go
witness it yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. But that's the whole thing. I mean, heck, the other day I heard about something that they caught back in the 1800s, and I'm not sure if it was over in England area or not. I'm thinking it is, but this thing had 6 legs. It looked like a sea serpent. They literally had drawings of it that people drew, you know, and they measured it. The dang thing was like 65 feet long. It had a long neck with a head. It had a long tail. The tail was half chewed off.
It's crazy. It's like the simulation trying to mess with us or something.
You know, I hate being simulated.
I just think, there's enough evidence to, I don't know, would that be in a simulation? I don't know. Would all the interweavings of nature be built into a simulation too? I don't know. Or maybe a supercomputer would be smart enough, I guess.
Well, I don't know. I don't feel like going more into depth because I feel like we're on a limited time schedule being in a wormhole. And I don't know if anyone is actually interested enough for me to go down the same rabbit/wormhole to lead me to the same conclusions that I eventually led myself to. So
Gotcha.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. Or at least tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got the munchies. Man, yesterday I couldn't go to sleep. I had one of those nights, man. I was up till 3:30 in the afternoon today.
Yeah.
Whole day plus.
Neck still troubling you?
Yeah, it hurts a lot. You know, I got a lot of pains everywhere. I just try not to think about it. Eventually they'll go away.
I gotta be right back here. So
All right. Yeah, that was a rough one. Oh, everybody took off on me.
I'll be here with you, Johnny.
All right. Let's burn one there. let's load up a bowl and burn one. You doing that there, Red?
I'm gonna torch up. Yeah, I have the one dab song playing in my head anytime I
always
take a
got
bed.
that
Anyways,
yeah, it's always going in my head.
I have no idea how close it is or how spot on we are to a 420, but let's just treat it as one anyways.
We're at the 45, or right about there. Mine's on a battery, so it could be way off. All right, cheers, everybody. Burning one up. Oh yeah. Good hit.
Yeah, and back here, Terminatic. Yeah. Watching chat.
Bring my dog in it. Just oh man. Yep, that was a good hit. Good hit.
I was reading chat a minute. They were talking about consistency through the organics. Who was that? Freedom of speech. By keeping complete control over environment and using organic nutrients and process, they're able to guarantee consistency and integrity. I think that's pretty difficult to say. I don't know. I almost would say that it's probably easier to get more consistency through like a hydro or a nutrient type system where you're consistently able to apply that, because I think really, I don't know, unless you can hit certain nutrient levels exactly the same throughout every soil mix and every, you know what I mean? Every run is identical that way, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be more
I think
designed.
There's more variability there.
Yeah, it'd be more of a design type of a thing. But
I think that's why I like talking with Brandon too. Like, you know, I was reading some of the comments in chat and certain people got, you know, always hydro and media. In a lot of ways, that is the thought process he's using towards that. But I think that's the reasoning why is he's trying to lock down that consistency from an organic system. You know what I'm saying? So like there's a lot of difficulty there. And I think that's why he's doing so much testing is he's trying to hit those nutrient parameters in a similar fashion to where maybe he can be in that same zone to try to get a more consistent thing to where, like, you know, if I got a media like cocoa, say, or you know, an inert media that's not necessarily supplying a bunch of nutrient, and I'm having to add that, you're at control of what you're adding in a lot better way. And I think that's, yeah, I mean, that's just how they're trying to shoot for more consistency that way. I think is trying to that's a variable they're trying to control more. You know what I mean?
now the variable is going to vary from strain to strain, I would think, right? As far as what a plant needs.
Right. But you can control that level that it's received better, more accurately, I guess.
Okay. What's up, Green 13?
What's up, G13?
What's up, brothers?
How you doing, man?
I thought I heard something coming in there.
Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Sleep, so I'm just up here mumbling some bullshit, just like usual.
Mm-hmm. I was watching a whole program of it with Brandon.
That was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, he's annoyingly fucking on top of everything, isn't he?
Are you saying something?
Gotta be, dude. Like,
Yeah, I know, man. I know.
I don't know. I admire the guy, honestly. He's, I don't know how you can disagree with him all you want, but shit, man, proof's in the pudding, and he's putting out a lot of beautiful plants like consistently, and I don't know, man. It's hard to knock somebody that's doing stuff.
It's not even a disagree anymore, is it? It's like different route. We know how many thousands of routes there are, and like one of the first things he said was people want to know how to do blah 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 at scale, and it's like, yeah, cool, okay, I can't weigh in on that. So
he's pretty clear about his thought process to it, and that's what I like about it and I admire about him is, what I mean, he doesn't have to share that shit. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to share that. He's learning the stuff either way. Like, he's doing the research for himself, and he doesn't have to share what he. So, I mean, that's where I got a lot of.
I agree. I think if you run a company like he's running, or a few companies like you run, it's now smart to face up and tell people, because otherwise they'll go round you anyway. So I do think that's a modern social media kind of, we'll show you the secret as well, but you can buy it from us. I think otherwise stoners get pissed off, don't they? It's like, oh, okay, you can make it at home. Okay. Why didn't you tell me that? I'm not going to, but you should have fucking told me. I don't know. I'm just mumbling myself.
That's true.
Now,
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
Not gonna do it, but you should have fucking told me.
That's funny.
See a verse.
But it's another one for the vault, really. It's all great information.
Yeah.
I'd like his big ass greenhouse.
I wasn't looking at chat, but when you said about the doing it like it's hydro, I thought of that at the same time too, because when you're buying all those mineral-based nutrients at a wholesale value, and then you're like making up a proprietary blend of those, like the stuff I got named, magnesium sulfate, the calcium phosphate, a lot of that shit, when you're buying it. I thought that's like what a lot of in the last few years, I thought that's what like NPK or Floraflex did, is they went and they would find the horticultural grade nutrients that there was like that you can buy for like $5 or $10 per like $50 bags, and then they would refine it to like a more pharmaceutical or like analytical grade material, to where it's just purified those compounds that we were making, or going after for the soil mixes or whatever nutrient feedings. So I don't have a opinion, good or bad versus like politics, if it's a good or bad thing to do. I just recognize it as that. And minerals do a lot of shit. I mean, in the super soil mixture, that's why you're adding so much azomite. You're adding so much azomite and other stuff. Like there's forget what it is, but it's Sea of Cortez salt, and it's like the most nutrient dense salt. It's got like instead of like 78 nutrients that a lot of other ocean based mineral supplements have, it has like 78 or 80 compounds in it. This like Sea of Cortez salt.
What about the Dead Sea?
I don't know.
More than that?
I would assume it could have more or less, basically maybe be the same thing to a higher concentrate, but the deposits are what's different, because there's seasonal deposits in the Sea of Cortez because of the tide change, and they have huge deposits of it, and they go out there and harvest it. But supposedly it has 90%, or sorry, not 90%, 90 different elements or trace minerals. I don't remember where I originally started. Well, the philosophy of feeding minerals, like a lot of people would think that's hydroponics, you know, you're like, you just got like this neutral or soilless medium, and then you're dissolving, you know, raw compounds of minerals.
We just didn't make another word for what you're saying though. So we just tag it under hydro. But you're right. It's not hydro, surely really is just DWC, really. But now they're saying like, well, cocoa and drip systems, and they're sort of not. They're sort of soilless media, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. I think of it, and like I'm someone that I'm like, if you just rewind 20 minutes and hear shit that I was talking about, you'll understand this philosophy where I'm coming from.
Okay.
But I'm at the point where I don't think there's man-made and synthetic things, truly. Like if you want to look at a steel structure, steel, what is it? Well, guess what? It's mineral ores that were pulled out of the earth. There's nothing synthetic about it. It doesn't matter that we touched our hands on it and made it some new form of material, right? And the same thing is like when people are like, oh, I don't like LSD. I like mushrooms because the mushrooms are natural. I'm like, well, LSD comes from a mold. So you're comparing a mold to a fungus. The fungus that is where the psilocybin comes from, LSD comes from a mold. They're both natural.
But you're trampling all over how it was mined. That's the bit where it's organic or not organic. And I know that's not what you're talking about, but that's the point where it's man-made or not man-made, or is the sort of organic that word, isn't it?
But I don't like comparing synthetic to man-made, because man-made isn't anything bad. Man, or depending on what your philosophy is, if we evolved from primates, it's totally 100% natural. There's nothing unnatural about humans. And to think that we alter someone all of a sudden makes it unnatural, it doesn't. It's still natural, because everything, doesn't matter where you take it from, the atmosphere, the ocean, or the earth, everything is derived from organic inputs. Doesn't matter.
Understood.
This is just wordplay, dude.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't trust pharmaceuticals because man has their hand in it.
All right, so there's a difference where, like, in chemistry and organic chemistry, the difference is organic chemistry deals with molecules that include carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So I would look at it in a similar fashion when you're, if we're talking about a quote unquote organic or versus a non-organic, that would be kind of the determining factor, in my opinion, would be is if it's got carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen in those molecules, which would be like more in the line of a top dress, even amino acids would fit into that. But certain things like, anhydrous ammonia, they're making that in a process, and it takes a lot of energy to actually produce that.
Where do you derive ammonia from? The atmosphere. It was here. If you believe like what I'm saying, the narrative that I'm trying to say is ammonia was in the atmosphere before humans were an organism.
I do think you've been careful with what you've said, and I do understand what you're saying. And also I'm aware you're not just talking about plants and stuff, but yeah, of course, eventually everything was already here. Right. But if we fuck shit up to pull it out, then it's kind of non-organic.
I have, I guess, a thin line that I go between like how bad are humans, and it's the philosophy of like people thinking like it's mold overtaking bread or a sandwich or something like that, and people think that humans are a virus on the earth and we're ruining the earth, when I think the earth was here created for us. I don't think we're ruining it, as bad as people make it out to be.
Damn, I might have to make me some cookies. I got the munchies.
It's a whole other wormhole. That's getting into a lot of politics and a lot of philosophy. You want to say that, but
oh no, that's all right.
I was just gonna say Yeah, no doubt. We're fucking burning rainforests. We're chopping down forests, and we're running into dust bowls,
Okay,
burning up
so,
our
but what I guess is
farmlands,
the philosophy
up
where
our
that comes
water
from is
source.
people like Bill Gates that say we need to eliminate 85 to 90% of human population because of for the
that's
earth.
the problem right there is humans.
I would like to do that. I do agree.
Okay,
We are
so that's what I mean.
overpopulated.
I'm fine with both schools of philosophy for that. I'm just saying that's
I
where
think
a
we
lot
should
of this
start with
comes from.
Australia.
No, I was going to vote Canada, but I'm with you on that.
Sorry about that, Australian and Aussie John, and our
That's
friends
as
down there.
far from me as I can get.
Now, what's wrong with Australia?
I just picked up. Really, actually, start in England. Let's clear some space because we've got lots of people on this tiny island.
Yeah, but I mean, we utilize a lot of resources for some bullshit that we don't necessarily need to. So there's definitely a lot that we've done to fuck up the planet in a lot of ways that are going to repercussions for generations to come. The Fukushima is one example that's still fucking
That's
radioactive.
I've smoked so much weed in my lifetime where I don't even believe any of that. I don't even believe radiation's bad. I think that's all a whole bunch of hoax and conspiracy too.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm dabbing a lot of distillate and a lot of shatter here. I might have fried my mind.
I mean, do you believe if you touch a hot grill, it's gonna burn your hand?
Sure, I've done that before. That's not. Man, do I need to send you guys like links on top of links? Like, we're gonna have like a link fest and like shit that like I'm gonna have to have you guys watch or at least try to at least comprehend. But yeah, there's.
How much distillate do we have to smoke?
Right.
You send me the link. You send me the pot of distillate as well. Then I'll watch the link.
I mean, there's a whole smiley program going on here. You know what I'm saying? You got to get the whole box and everything, the nutrients, and get the operation going.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I have got the worst munchies right now. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Smoking pot does that to you.
Yeah, I normally don't get munchies, and I just feel like I want to eat something sweet right now for some reason.
Something like that. Something like my breakfast.
Thanks for that, Green 13.
Well, I've been out in the car and done human stuff, so yeah, I'm showing off about it.
There you go.
Human stuff. What's that?
I'm a hermit. I don't leave the house much, but this morning I wanted pastries and coffee, so I went into a shop. I think I spoke to the woman as well and said good morning and shit.
How'd that work? Did you get a response?
Yeah, it's fine. I think with masks it's better, isn't it? Because it's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna rob you then. Nah, I'm being silly. I am a hermit and I try not to go into shops. And the woman was old and it was fine. We didn't have to talk about anything too.
Masking. Funny. The other day I went into the bank and I was talking to somebody in there and I asked them to do a certain thing in my account. He goes, well, if I'm going to do that, sir, I'm going to have you drop your mask and take your glasses off. And I said, and I looked at him and I says, what? I can't be incognito anymore? I've never walked into a bank looking like a bank robber before, but lately it's the way I feel.
If you walked in there with a mask
all
on,
masked up
1.5 years ago, they would have called security. Sir, you need to take that mask off right away. Imagine it. People would get pissed about it.
right? They'd call the police. SWAT would be outside. You know it, man. Amazing stuff.
Where's Eagle at? Taking a rest. He's working.
No, he's trimming.
here.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he's right there. He's trimming.
He's napping.
The reason I thought about it is because
he's off camera. He's fucking asleep.
I'm smoking Bruce Banner, and I think he just interviewed that guy tonight, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Hey, what is the original terp profile on that? Is it strawberry?
For me, this one is. It totally does. Yeah, this Bruce Banner. This one is strawberry. I've grown it from seed about 6 times, and you sometimes get strawberry, and you sometimes get like a raspberry fuel thing, and you sometimes just get a pine thing.
Yeah,
but it's always quite up and at it.
The flavor profiles are pretty contrasting, so it's kind of easy to separate phenotypes versus the strawberry and the gas.
This is the worst structure I've had. This is the most sort of sativa-y one that was really hairy and not my kind of thing.
Yeah, I've never grown a straight Bruce Banner before, but I grew one that was crossed, and it was an auto, I think.
What flavor was that?
Bruce Banner Amnesia.
It was
Bruce
piney.
Banner Amnesia. It was
earthy.
It was crazy, weird. It was crazy weird. I'd never had anything like that, and the fact it was an auto too, so it was kind of a small, runty plant, but it was very, very buddy. I haven't had an auto that I've been impressed with yet.
Join the club.
As far as the flavor of it lasting of any length, because the strawberry cheese or the strawberry cheese that I grew a little while back, it's got no smell to it whatsoever at all. It had a little bit at the beginning, and then it just faded away. And so now it's just kind of like, well, I'll put that into some of my edibles because it's still got, the terps and everything on it. I don't know.
Cannabinoids, not the terps, from what you're saying.
Yeah, cannabinoids. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Cannabinoids.
Yeah, or hash it, eat it or hash it, I suppose. I would imagine you can go to the cupboard and pick some flavors these days, Johnny. You've got a fairly rotational garden that looks like it's always sticking a plant out.
Oh yeah, I've got multiple different stuff sitting in front of me right now that I could smoke on. That's not the issue anymore. I'm so glad. Man, it was so hard before. I had to go to the dispensary and get the smoke, and I never and at that time I was right at the beginning when they were starting to say you couldn't go into the dispensaries anymore and you had to stand outside, and then one person could go in at a time.
Jeez.
And then they wouldn't let you look at it anymore. You couldn't smell it. You couldn't look at it. It was just, there was no service whatsoever. It was just, felt like I was going to a Burger King and getting a fry,
Well, no, not really. Because when you go Burger King, you get the same thing every time, no matter fucking what, where, or how. Whereas this situation, you're just going to get what's dry or not dry, or it's a lottery.
It's the time they can get rid of all their junk, that they had in the back.
Yeah. Everything that was going to the extractor is now coming here.
Exactly. Got a new line of business going here. Non-viewable sales. Kind of like back in the day when you would go someplace and you'd say, "Hey, this is what the guy would say, "Hey, this is what I got. Take it or leave it."
That conversation wasn't even had. You were begging man for whatever he had. There was no even question. It actually used to annoy me when I was a kid when people used to tell me what the weed was, because it's like, you're a fucking liar. Just give me it anyway. I'm not here to decide. It's not like we've got a choice. There was never even any thought of choice. Mexican brickweed again. Oh, it wasn't. It was just brickweed. Yeah, please. Is it moldy? Not moldy, this one. Oh, okay. Probably not going to get me as high then.
That is definitely one view for sure. I always look for anything different. I was always searching, looking for something, because I was looking more for quality, not for quantity when I was buying stuff. So I always searched out people that had the different type of weed.
Never easy in a prohibition situation.
No. I remember going down to California one time. I was doing a remodel on a house. Took me a couple of months to do it, me and one other guy. And I ran out of smoke. And I had money to buy it, but I didn't know where to get it. So I went to a bar, and I'm sitting there drinking a beer, and I'd look around to see if I could see anybody that looked like a weed head. You know what I'm saying? And then I go up and talk to them, and they'd look at me like, "Oh, fuck no, man, get away from me." It was so hard. So just one time I went to a place where you buy pipes and stuff, not a dispensary, but just, where you get
Head
your
shop.
paraphernalia. Yeah, head shop. And I go in there, and this guy comes in and he buys this really nice bong. And I go like this, man, that guy's he's gotta know where to get some smoke. So I went out to my car after I got done, and I sat there and I waited for him, and he came out, and I said, "Hey, bro." I said, "Man, I'm down here doing some work on some construction." I said, "I'm not from this town." I says, "Man, I can't find any smoke. Do you know where to get any smoke?" And he goes, "It's funny you would ask me. I have some in my car right now."
Boom.
And he hooked me up with some really good smoke. I was just blown away. And I asked him, I said, "Now, why did you even trust me?" And he said, "Well, you were inside buying some shit. I figured you were cool." And I said, "Right on. That's all."
You look like a stoner anyway.
It'd be funny if you were like, it's funny that you have weed, because you totally don't look like the type of person that would have weed right now.
Yeah, it was really cool, man. And as a matter of fact, there was a couple other times that I went down into California a year down the road.
No.
And I called him up, got in touch with him, and I got some more smoke from him.
That was neat.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta step in the mud puddle and make a splash,
I guess. Splish splash.
If you don't speak up, you'll never know. They'll never.
It gets
saying?
easier and easier.
It has been. But I know this. I don't have to deal with that shit anymore, because I know a grower.
That's the best way. That's what they tell me. Know your grower.
And
mine's a right knob.
And and this guy has stuff all the time. At least I could see it in front of me. So that's good for me.
That's why.
I hated. There was a time down in Pennsylvania. I went down into Easton, down in the town of Easton, and I gave this guy some money to go get some smoke, and it was the cousin of a guy that I hired to do a job, and I asked him, "Can I trust your cousin?" He goes, "Oh yeah, kinda." And I said, "What do you mean, kinda?"
That's no. Yeah.
And at this point, he's got $500 of my money, and he's out there running around in the city of Easton, and I'm like, well, what the, and we were in a pretty bad neighborhood from what they were talking about, and so I'm hanging out there in my car, and I'm going, well, he went up this way, and we saw him walk across the street, and he went up to another place, and then he went up another street up this way, and then and next thing you know, he was gone. And we were waiting there for 45 minutes, and I'm saying, hey, dude, this is getting ridiculous. Where's your cousin? Well, I got ripped off.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So I took it out of him. Just a relationship, he was related to him. So, just that's what happens.
Where's my money, Brian? Where's my money, Brian? I want my money. Wouldn't have to get to this.
Favorite Family Guy episode.
It's so fucking awesome. Better have my money.
Yeah, I took that guy out for a ride out in the middle of the woods, and I said, hey, either you're going to make something happen for me, I'm going to leave your ass out here.
You got a shovel?
Even for Family Guy, though, that shit was like, damn, you guys are heavy with that.
They always went over the top with the fight scenes.
Tomorrow.
That was the best part about it. The fucking the one with Peter and the chicken, and they fought for like 10, 15 fucking minutes of the show. It was like them fighting through the town.
It's 50% of the show. You take the ads out, it's
yeah, dude,
70% of the show.
I'm pretty sure there were ads in the middle, and they came back to them fighting. It's still
Crazy.
Yeah, good shit. Good shit.
I always enjoy the Conway Twitties break-ins. Now, Conway Twitty.
The dudes dancing, the three dudes. Them dudes pissed me off. I'm glad he shot them, and he was like, "That's it. They ain't coming back," and they didn't come back. I don't think. Was it three like barbershop quartet dudes?
Some of the comedy in that's hilarious. That's got to be a fun job to think of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, they got to get baked. And, like, the comedy stuff, they just get in a room, just get baked and fucking throw around brainstorming ideas. Shit. Come up with some storylines. That's how I picture it anyway. I shouldn't say that I know that. That's how I picture it in my head. All the greeting cards and shit, them guys are getting baked as fuck writing greeting cards.
Oh, completely. I tried to get my ex to be a greeting card person.
Yeah.
Couldn't get her to do it. Yeah. She was good with words and lyric kind of stuff like that, and she was an amazing drawer. Get had her whole thing set up, done her own stuff.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's the way things go.
420.
Cheers.
420. Uh-oh. I just happen to have one loaded. Well, look at there. Cheers.
Cheers, man. Yeah, it was my mom's birthday today. I had her over for dinner. So kind of cool hanging out with the grandson. Always fun.
Right on, Smiley. Did you make her dinner?
Well, yeah, actually, my girlfriend's stepdaughter kind of made it, but yeah,
That's cool. What'd you guys make her?
a roast.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a home style meal right there. I love that shit.
Yeah, it's one of them things where like, yeah, we can go to a restaurant, you know what I mean, and whatever, and have to do all the hurdles of that with a toddler. You know what I'm saying? He's fucking 1.5. Little dude just wants to run. We tried going out to eat one time, and it's just like he just want like put me down, fucking put me down. I want to run, man. Like,
takes off to the restaurant.
dude. Yeah. So it works out because then he can just run around and play and shit and do his thing. He's got all his toys. He's, you know.
It's
It was your mum's birthday.
Yeah.
Was it at your house?
Yeah. Yes.
It was your mum's birthday. It was at your house, and your girlfriend's stepdaughter cooked for you all.
Yeah.
That's a full-on chain of people, man.
Oh.
What did you eat?
I love it when a plan comes together. I don't know.
Someone's cooking, yeah? Have it at mine.
Just gotta learn sometimes. So I mean, they take to it, man. I don't know. I'm not gonna shut them down on it. You want to figure out how to cook? Go ahead. You know, if it's something. They kind of went through spells of that. I noticed like 3 girls or whatever. All of a sudden they were interested in baking, so they were making cupcakes and cookies and shit. And then that got old. Like they wear that out in like a week, and you got a fucking counter full of all kinds of sweets and shit.
Yeah, not that well made to start with.
Right.
Maybe dubious. Yeah, when they're really young, maybe dubious cleanliness even. It's like I'm good.
What's that crunchy? What's that crunchy stuff in there? Could be a couple eggshells. Yeah.
Yeah, I did watch what you're describing happened, and I think the reason is it's that devil's hands idol. You know, every time my daughter was pulled away from a screen, she'd get bored, and so my wife would have her bake, and it's like is to do something that ain't just staring at a screen. It's also something that you can do as a sort of supervise. Come on in, let's do that. And you don't really have to do it. You can just say, now do this.
Well, it's one of them things where you get that sense of accomplishment afterward too. You know, you follow the instructions and came up with a good end result. And
cupcakes are always pretty solid. Hard to fuck up.
Yeah.
Reckon I could, but
I was just gonna say yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, they kicked my ass. That was the Gorilla Glue.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Nice.
I wasn't ready for that.
Tell me, boys, I just stripped one of those jelly beans down that was getting out of hand. I really put an eagle on it, man. I was snapping branches and fucking splaying it open and whatnot. That thing's, I already know the answer to this, but that thing's going to double in stretch, yeah? It looks like a stretch. It looks like it's going to get it on.
Yeah, she was pretty good.
So I can go now and know it's going to fill my net. Yeah, they're all probably going to double or at least 75% more. Yeah.
At least.
Okay. Cool.
Go, go, go. That's fun.
Yeah, call that one gadget.
I got some about to come down, so.
Yeah. Oh, have you? Yeah. When you watch someone else's videos, it's like, that can't be another video or another day. What? You're crazy. And your own grow feels like day 41. Is it still day 41? Day 41. It's like, Smiley's done 3 grows while I'm still on day 41. It's always how it feels. You know, 'cause you're not watching that grow or that calendar.
No, I get it. true.
That's
I
so
always thought that
true.
about Vader, but Vader would always like record his, you know what I'm saying? So like his were like multiple weeks all in like one episode or whatever, I think too. But yeah, I always thought that about like watching them guys too. Like, what the fuck, man? These things go
Remo's as well. Remo, how are you doing it so fast? Obviously it's the same, but
well, it's like for me too, like seeing my grandson, like I don't see him every day, every minute or whatever, right? Like he'll come over a few times a week and it's like, yeah, every time I see him, I'm like, fuck man, he's bigger. Jeez, oh Pete, dude. Like he's saying more words and he's doing more shit, you know what I mean? It's like
Next time he
similar.
comes over, he's gonna have a mustache.
Yeah, no shit, man. No shit, Johnny. It won't be long.
Say, who is this kid? Who is this kid?
I will say, dude,
It's me, Granddad.
he's born to race, though, man. This kid is born to race. He's at least gonna have a shot at it. He's okay. So first off, right out of the womb, kid had a bigger right foot than his left foot.
nice.
So, I mean, just saying, right? So that was one sign. Still is bigger, you know what I mean? Now, second sign is that his favorite toy is his car right now. I have a picture of a race car up on the wall, and he always goes, I don't know if anybody showed him that, but he'll point at it and he goes, vroom, vroom. And he says that, like, dude, yeah, there's a lot of pointers to this kid's going to be driving. So, like, I'm pretty excited about that. Maybe it won't. Maybe
so what's the first one you're going to get him, Smiley?
What's that?
What's the first car you're going to get him?
Oh, quarter midget.
A quarter midget, right on. Okay, you already got it planned out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he didn't even fucking. It is planned out.
Used chassis and shit right now. I can have a couple years to make that. You know, he's almost
Shit,
2. He's got to be 5. They won't let him run before they're 5.
You probably already got an outfit picked out for him, huh?
It's kind of a mental vision of it, yeah, a little bit.
Right.
It's not going to be a black car.
It's going to be a race. He's going to be a racing star, man, right from the get-go.
I don't know.
It's going to be so cool.
I just hope it's something fun we can do. I don't want him to be, you know, the next Jeff Gordon or nothing, but.
Oh, he's going to be better than Jeff Gordon.
Right. I ain't got the money to take him that far, Johnny. I don't know. Man.
Well, that'll be up to him when he gets to a certain point. He's going to have to start getting some backups, you know, some promoters.
It's the way it works. Yeah, if you're that good, you start getting attention for sure.
Yeah.
Very, very competitive these days, though.
Oh man, big time. Yeah, we don't even know where things are going at this point. You know.
No.
Well, they're going electric.
Right. I know that he's going to get a shot at driving it, and we'll see.
Now wait a minute. Electric, man.
Will be, yeah.
There's something. I don't know. There's something about the roar of the car going by you, man. It just. I love that. To smell the gas.
They're already doing it with the Indy cars, though. They got the electric Indy cars and shit.
Do they really?
Yeah. Do they? Right. We've got Formula E, which is a European series. Formula E, yeah, electric, and it's lots of street circuits. And I tell you what, I don't like it, but it's hella popular.
Yeah, it's really, really like they switch out the battery, and they only switch tires so often and shit like that. There's tire rules, and it's kind of cool.
It's too contrived for me. And me also, I do. You know, I'm like you. I race. I want engine. I want spitting fire. I want fucking.
Well, racing should be driving as hard as you can every lap that you can, and like, you know what I'm saying? Run what you got, dude. Bring it. You know, it shouldn't be about like, oh, I'm conserving my fuel economy. That's not fucking racing. That's not racing. But, you know what I mean?
Not for me.
Fuel economy is not a concern. You should be trying to pass that dude as best you can, and he should be trying to go as fast as he fucking can to keep you from passing.
Away.
Racing.
Exactly.
Like, you know, and throw fucking fuel economy out the window. I'm passing the son of a bitch. That's fucking racing. Like, I don't know.
When I first started watching Formula One when I was a kid, they had qualifying engines. So qualifying's like 10 laps, sometimes 8. They would just do, you know, even less maybe, just 6, one out, one one flat out, one in, twice. And they'd have a specific engine for that and specific tires that they would work on just for those 6 laps of a weekend. It would cost millions of pounds. There would be ultimate data. It was the stickiest tires they could put down. No degradation. Who gives a fuck? Now it's the complete opposite. And for me, the perversion of it, the sickness was that they could just go mad. And ever since they've been trying to rein it back and rein it back and rein it back. And it's like, it's not fantasy anymore, dudes. You just made it into this other thing, you know?
But Formula One had so much control, computer control going on that it took the driver away from it too. I mean, really all the driver was doing is steering at that point, you know what I mean, at a certain point with it. The shifting, traction control, all that shit. Them guys could mash the fucking gas at any point in the corner and it wouldn't do anything but just accelerate normal for them, you know? So there wasn't like a trying to be a driver on the edge and stuff like that. That totally
Formula One is
brakes, traction control. They controlled the shifting points like Formula One cars. They could fucking almost run them things without the driver and shit. It's crazy.
It was the active suspension that was the most revolutionary. But actually, to talk about it, Formula One is not really a sport. It's an entertainment thing. They're trying to make it a sport, I think, but it hasn't been a sport for a long time because the arms race, there's far more money at one end than the other, and
it's an amazing feat of engineering.
Yes,
so
yeah.
The crazy shit they do on those is pretty amazing. They fucking dude, they got hybrids. Those are hybrids, actually. Formula One, they got battery power, and they fucking regen off their turbo. So they have a turbocharger on there, and like when they decelerate, the turbocharger will spin back and they'll capture that energy to rejuvenate the battery, similar to like what they do through the brakes. They'll have regenerative brakes.
Same on the brakes, yeah.
They're fucking high end, man. There's a lot of money that goes into that shit for sure.
Wow.
Insane.
I had no idea that it gone that far.
Mercedes will be spending 300 million a year plus.
They're too fast, dude. That's why they got to detune them. The drivers pass out and shit. They can pull so much G-force. Wow. Fucking drivers hit the wall because they blacked out from the G-force.
I don't remember a year where they didn't take downforce away. Every year or every rule change they take downforce away to try and stop them. And the tires are not as sticky as they could be anymore because they have to, as you say, take performance out. Because the engineers, they just add aerodynamic performance every race with fluid dynamics and aerodynamic wind tunnels. And yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Take it, Eagle's not a race fan though. He's like, they're low riders. They're like that, right? Oh.
Sure.
What's that?
Yeah, I never watched a bunch of racing, to be honest with you. It's one of the things for me. It's like either in person or not. You know what I mean?
It's good to sleep. So, good to sleep too, though.
I would have imagined the Flint area, though, that was a big thing. Like all the automaking, you know what I mean? All the people making cars anyway during the day. Fucking racing's big on the east side of the state is what I'm getting at. I'm just surprised that it wasn't something you were, you know.
Well, I went to, when I was young, my dad raced cars up to a certain point. Even when he didn't race cars, we went through a stint of Auto City and Dixie every other fucking weekend, heading out to the track like that. And of course, the east side of Flint there, we had the strip back there right next to, you mentioned the auto plants. There's a mile-long strip right there between two factories that everybody would fucking race on right next to Buick City all the fucking time. So yeah, I used to hang out there a few Friday and Saturday nights.
A lot of drag racing out there too, man. And yeah, the gearheads in Michigan are strong, dude. Over in that side of the state for sure. Like, there's a lot of tracks over there. That's why, yeah, it's kind of I don't know.
My brother was a major gearhead.
It is
He
a
did all
little
kinds.
breed nowadays, though. I would say, like, it seems to be.
Yeah, my brother raced quarter miles, and he did he built trucks and did the mud bogging, shit like that. He was, and he built a few crawlers too, rock crawlers.
My favorite racing to watch are the World of Outlaw sprint cars on dirt, and I don't know, it's the funnest racing to watch live and pretty kick-ass to watch on replay too. So, but like I said earlier,
I like the rally races.
It's not fuel economy or saving this or that. It's fucking balls to the wall for 30 laps, and you're just driving as hard as you fucking can. You know what I mean? So they're crazy. If you've seen them or know what they are, they're fucking insane.
That's like the rally races. They're going for speed, for time, you know, up in the mountains and going on those crazy little roads, and that's some crazy ass stuff there, man.
Yeah, in between trees and shit. Fuck that.
Yeah, I've seen cars doing some flips and going off the road, you know.
Those cars are pretty badass though. They can whip them things around pretty efficiently, man. Those cars will move the way they want them to.
Yeah, they're pretty.
No interest in that. That scares me way too much. I'm just couldn't.
Not between shit, catching jumps and shit. Fucking they launch them cars too, man.
I'm good. You can leave fields either side, thanks. I'll visit in a bit when we get into a tussle. So I don't need trees. Yeah.
And it would be weird having somebody like talking to you the whole time too. I never had anybody in my ear when I was trying to drive.
I'm driving, man.
Right? Dude's sitting there trying to tell you, all right, now it's a fucking left turn. Like,
well, a lot of the times they have a guy sitting right next to them.
Yeah,
co-pilot. Yeah.
Yeah.
They shout directions the whole time. 90 left, 130 straight, flat.
Yeah, it's all different coding communications, the way they understand it or whatever, but because they got to be able to understand it real fast to make decisions. They're coming up on that corner pretty quick. He's got to know, am I in third gear or am I fucking braking or am I, carrying speed through it?
I like to go drag racing though. I think that would be, we don't have that same, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. We don't have that same culture that you guys have because our roads aren't straight, but I would like to do that. It's something that I'm a bit older now, and I think there's probably a big social element to it, and a lot of car prep and.
Yeah, man, it's like strapping onto a rocket ship.
Pretty much.
You're gonna go real fast, real straight, hopefully real straight, and then get to the end. Start. Yeah, your reaction times are the big part and all that. But definitely, it's fun. It's fun to go to. I like watching drag racing too. Especially
what's that? Drinking session, drinking, smoking, hanging out.
Pretty much, yeah. Wow. The top fuel ones are the ones I really like because then it's like,
yeah,
those things go by, dude. You can't. I mean, you sit there with your ear plugging your ears straight up. You know what I mean? And it's like the concussion of them just going by is like a vibration. It almost makes your
whole body shaking.
It almost takes your breath away when they go by. It's just such a rumble. So, it's amazing engineering there too. That's what I get. Is the extreme of it.
One thing we used to do as a kid, my dad used to take us to do as kids too, was a lot of fun, was boat racing. You ever been to fucking boat races?
That's never been to
dangerous, huh?
Yes, very.
Yeah. Are you talking about the speedboat racing?
Yeah, quarter mile fucking double stack V8 engines. Yeah, I've seen them stop because there was like a cup floating across the lake. because that will flip up one of them boats at 200 miles an hour. Just like, you know, like a regular fucking McDonald's cup, something like that, just kind of gently floating across there like, no, we got to stop this. Somebody go grab that cup, because something like that, when the boats hit that shit at 180 and then fucking flip it and shit.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen a few boats out there fucking flip, fucking bam. That's some crazy shit, man. The good times.
When
man.
they break up, man, that's freaky, dude. And then there's some guy in there probably unconscious under fucking water. Like, damn.
Yeah, that's why they got them in capsules now. So like if the boat disintegrates, they have that capsule around them. Those are the real fast ones to do now. There's a certain level. It's like having a roll cage at the drag races. They want you to have that. It's so dangerous. Yeah, I would fuck that, dude. I wouldn't be on water going like that. Fuck that shit.
Back in the day, those land speed record dudes, the famous ones from, you know, before we were born, they would often be land speed guys and then dip their toe in the water and do that as well. And like a lot of them lost their lives in the water where they didn't on land, because when that nose dips in, oh man, you stop so fast. It's like tears the human body up.
Have you seen those boat races where they literally go through tracks in the dirt? It's like channel racing.
Yeah, those are sweet too. I don't know.
Airboats. They're fucking like cool because they.
Well, they're not airboats.
That looks fun.
No?
They're regular type boats, but they're just going through like a channel that's been turned into a track.
It's kind of like an Australian thing, I think, is where.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, and I believe they're like jet props, and then they build like small channels. Yeah, and then they race the figure eight kind of style, but it's like time.
Change of direction is wicked.
Yeah, they do, man. Those things just rip a corner. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, those are amazing.
That would be fun to me. That looks like a lot of fun trying to rip through there. But you're not gonna die in that either, and like drowned in open water and shit. Like,
yeah, you're gonna flip out onto the plane where all the people are and whatnot.
Right. To me, that looks more like a go-kart track kind of thing. Where
exactly.
It's a fast boat. Go try to set how fast time you can or whatever, and you know, not racing.
My last place, I used to have a fucking go-kart track set up in my backyard. Fucking come. It was not. I'm actually still that big of a kid. That place was 5 years ago, and I would fucking come home from work quite a bit and fire up the go-kart and fucking throw on the fucking headphones and just go out there and fucking rip donuts and ride that track for a while. I actually used that go-kart fucking more than my kids did.
I would too, probably, man.
Fuck that dirt track, suspension on the fucking four-wheel driver on the go-kart.
That's badass. I'd love that. Have my own little track. Man, that'd be cool.
It's fun.
I worked on the various kart tracks for about 14 years. That was my whole gig.
What were you doing?
I was a race director, so really just, I mean, mostly in the end, all that stuff always just turns into a job, right? But of course, always playing on karts, but mostly running other races.
Cool.
Corporate entertainment, yeah. But I did a lot of, before that really became a job, I was a racer and did a lot of endurance racing.
It's fun. Yep, I've even tried RC car racing just because I couldn't drive anymore, but I was like, oh, I can get a RC truck and try that out.
And was it any...
It's a lot harder than it looks, man. I'll tell you what.
I know that. And so was it like, bollocks, this isn't the same buzz?
Right, kind of.
Yeah. I need to be in it. And that's why I think maybe drag racing, because it's all over in 12 seconds. And it's like, that's cool. I can go and rest now.
Yeah.
And be happy or pissed off.
Yeah, especially like some of the bracket ones where you don't got to have like a real exotically extreme vehicle to do it. You can just go run your time. It's all about being consistent in your time, you know. So that's where you'll see them where the one guy will go first, you know what I mean, and then the other guy will go that's a little faster. They stagger the start times for him and shit.
What you said just spoiled. I couldn't do that. It would have to be a thing where I'm constantly evolving and tweaking. It would have to be.
Then you got to be rich.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, or a liar. No, it's stock. Come on, bet me.
Is that your dog?
Yes, my dog. Sorry.
Oh,
I think Green 13 wants the Fast and Furious experience there. It's the Friday night, you know what I mean? There's one girl standing by going, "Fuck no, Green 13, don't do this.
Don't do it."
I was literally about to go check on my dog. I'm like, what? I know that sound. Oh God, I gotta go run upstairs.
Please give me attention all of the time, Daddy, is what that is.
They're funny like that.
Bump
your elbow yet? They come up and nose your elbow like that when you're not petting them. Like, all right, dude, chill.
But it's non-stop with this one. She'll just tear something up if I don't, and so it's training, isn't it? We're at that 8-month point where we pretty much all hate her, and we're like, "You're an amazing-looking dog. How do we end up hating you so much?" And I'm kind of joking, but it is full on, man. A child is easier.
She'll get better though.
Yeah.
I just got another bean pop up over there.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's cool. 2 in the wash sand and 1 in the regular dirt, regular outside sand.
But just before we move away from it, do you guys ever see a program called Street Outlaws? It's an American program. Wow. Okay. Right. It's a drag racing program. And so you said Fast and Furious, but actually there's been a program running for about 5 or 6, 7 years maybe, which is an Oklahoma-based program about street racing. And I think they kind of fake it for the last 3 series or something where it really isn't on a street. But because it kind of got popular and they were like, "Oh, I don't really do this anymore." But it was a good program anyway. And that's sort of what got me into the street racing thing a bit.
Nice.
I literally gave up TV with my kids, practically. I lost control of anything I wanted to watch.
Dog shit Oak Island stuff, dude. Come on.
Here in my garage or where I grow or where I'm at, I don't get to like go watch TV, sit on the couch and watch TV, like prop up, watch a movie. That shit ain't happening. Maybe they swap that out right in no time.
That's theirs, right?
Oh man, you want to hear? You want to see some girls walk around all pouty face? You go turn on some Oak Island, even though it's once a week. You think I'd ask them to watch it all day?
Oh my God, Dad's got our show on. Oh man.
I went to pick up my daughter from school yesterday, and she walks out and pets the dog and says hello to me and whatnot. And then we start walking across the car park, and she looks at me and she's like, "Are we walking?" And like, we're talking about 2 miles or something. She's like, "Ugh." I was like, "What sort of day you had?" So why won't you tell me? Because we're walking. Like, fucking hell. Anyway, miserable cow all the way home. Can't even remember why I started telling this story. Oh, because yeah.
Oh.
I can't remember. I've lost my chain of thought. I'm not even gonna try.
Oh man.
It's good though.
I know why I started saying it, because that Eagle said pouty face if you watch what you want to watch on TV. But yeah, it's already
Any-
started.
Any
Yeah.
physical labor, as far as that goes, green 13. Go mow the lawn. You want to go help me outside?
Yeah.
Come on, it's not that bad out there, really.
Oh, I'll tell you what I was going to tell you. Right. So we're walking home with the dog, chatting away. And I see coming up, there's a bunch of other children sitting on the green, sitting chatting. My daughter walks like 15 yards over from me and starts walking faster than I've ever seen her walk before. So I start calling her name, but I'm calling it quietly because you don't want to shout your kid's name. Anyway, then I can clearly see that she is trying to distance herself from me. So when I catch up, I'm like, what was that about? What? What was that about, May? So she's smirking. So I pull her up and make her stop. And she admits, I don't want to walk. It's embarrassing walking with you. And I was like, what? I said, what do you think those children think? I said, you're with me because you're a child and you need someone to look after you. Don't be all walking away from me when I've kindly come and secured your safety for your route home. Yeah.
You're not cool, Dad. You're not.
No, man. Obviously not.
Shit.
Oh, that's rude. That is rude.
That realization.
You
man.
got to get yourself a really cool hat so you fit in better.
I don't think there's anything I can do, Johnny. I think she's decided already that that isn't a thing. That's not cool.
You're just uncool.
You should make a good effort as an attempt to like just like try to dress up and be like, "Is this cool? Would you introduce me to your friends now? Like, am I cool enough now?"
I'm gonna get like a clown. I'm gonna get a clown costume and I'm gonna walk home shouting her name out or something.
So, what do they?
My
How do
big
they
old
really
flipper
play
feet.
that off on their end? You know what I mean? When they actually see their friend, either it's your
Lexi.
dad or it's if it should be some good friends. It's like, should we help her? Look at her; she's struggling to get away from that cat. Look at her double timing it.
You made it awkward as hell. Now you're just the creeper that she's trying to walk fast and get away from.
Right.
And you're
Come on,
calling
buddy,
her
just tell him
name
I'm
like
your
some
dad.
weirdo, man.
Who's that guy chasing her?
Right. That'd be
In
the day.
future, we're just gonna get in the car like normal. I'm not walking again. God damn. Fuck summer.
Some dude stops you. Hey, buddy, what's going on? No, that's my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure it
Is
is.
this your dad?
No, I'm just
Yeah.
telling you, she's just embarrassed of me. Really, that's my daughter.
I don't know him. That's not my dad. Yeah. Oh
I
man,
get it. For,
you could just see where it's going. You know. That's classic.
Funny shit.
Oh,
That'd be
okay.
a sick
Hey man, we have to. Has Lexi ever done that?
oh yeah, all the time.
Okay,
She
we
gets me,
got to
bud,
get
'cause-
her to.
She's still
We got to
doing it.
get her to
Seriously.
explain. We got to get her to explain the mindset of what it is that you're trying to run from when you're ashamed of somebody. You know.
But but to the girls,
Usually for me, it's because I'm farting in the store. That's where they're running. Man.
Oh,
They'll go
man.
2 aisles over. No doubt about that.
Boom. Actually, it becomes a game from here, doesn't it? And it always has been a bit, really, where you know, there's a bit of, oh, if you want to act ashamed, we go make sure you really are ashamed. Let me just quickly pull a movie,
Johnny?
or you know.
You talk about embarrassment, and I don't think she's in chat right now, but you guys can ask her this next time she's in chat. Ask her what her phone says when she calls somebody. Ask her what her phone says. I'll tell you the answer because
you're gonna
the
have
phone.
to.
It does not say her name. So many years of her. She's supposed to wear glasses. Love her to death. All my girls are supposed to wear glasses, and she won't wear her glasses. And so back when she got her cell phone, she refused. I'd buy her brand new pairs of glasses. The next day they'd be gone, broke, whatever. come home from school, no glasses, no glasses. So even to this day, she shit you not, just like 2 days ago. It's been like that since when she was 11. I have yet to change it. She asked me yesterday or the day before, can you please change the name on my phone? Because when I called somebody the other day, a business, and they were like, they asked me for my name, and I said my name, and they were like, because it said I wear glasses when you called. To this day, her caller ID
I wear
says
glasses
I wear
and what it
glasses.
says. Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's some funny shit, man.
Oh man.
Child shaming.
It is about that time though, man. It's like 5. I gotta get to bed.
Yeah, it is.
Bro. Friday. TGIF. It is good hanging out.
Friday.
Good to see you, Eagle, Red Pill, Johnny, Green 13.
Smiley.
Have a good one.
Always awesome.
Yeah,
Have a good one, Smiley.
That's why I'm eating pastries, man. I was like, let me make Friday something.
Oh man,
Come
see,
on.
pastries. See, now you just went and did it for me again. Now I got to go make me some cookies.
Some apple strudels for me.
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay, I'm out too. Thank you, Eagle. See you guys later. Another
All right.
fun night.
Come on then.
Later, Red
Come
Pill.
on then. I'm going to do it too. I love boys. Thank you for a
Adios.
great start to the day. Eagle, thank you for doing this, man. It really is important to us. And you're the best host. Johnny, see you, dude.
Later, brother. Later. Awesome. Thanks for having it for us. Great show tonight. I can't tell you. That was an awesome show. And thanks for having us a platform to hang out, man. It's awesome. All right, everybody. Eagle, much love to you. I think you're on mute. Eagle. There you go.
What I was trying to say was thank you, Johnny. Appreciate it. Love you,
That's
brother.
why I hung out so I could do that for you.
I appreciate it. You probably just saved me about 20 minutes.
Yeah. All right, then, man. Okay. Appreciate you, brother. I'll talk to you later. I'll see everybody in chat in a minute.
Well, thanks everybody for hanging out. I greatly appreciate it. Let me get something rolling here for some shout outs. Since I missed them last night, I can't. It's a big day 420. Can't miss them again, can I? No. But I've got papers right here. Most of them. 1, 2. Yeah, we got them. We got them. Ah. Oh, shout outs list. I so need to put this into the digital form. Oh, so need to. There is just not enough hours a day. That's what I said. There's just not enough hours. Been cloning all night. Lucky. And that's on my to-do list, ain't it, bitch? Cheers to you. Much fucking respect to you, my friend. Oh, look, YouTube changed their stuff again. Oh, it's a good tune right here. I love this. Can't Find My Way Home by who the heck is this? I don't know who the cat is that plays this song, but it's obviously Justin Johnson. That's who does it. But you guys can't hear it because it's playing in my ear. There you guys go. Probably be able to hear something now, hopefully. One more hit off this here doobie. Cheers, Gus. It's a good tune right here. And I love to listen to this one right here. Fucking mornings, fresh cup of coffee. Close your eyes, just kind of listen to the time. And I always feel like I can see like a sunrise, bright, just super orangish kind of sun coming up. Oh no, that kind of episode, oh, the Lexi episode with Joe. I don't even know if I could watch. Sorry, guys. Ooh. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready, guys. Sub cool, D's House of Dank, Mama Law 710, Scarecrow 420, Green Thumb Bum, Christina MG 89, Unplugged 705, Medical McCullough, Rick T, the Rebel, the 9G207, Baby and Selena, Dave's not here, Tom Spook, Greg Walker, Mendo Dog, T-Dog, Dung Beetle, Red Eye Jedi Grows, Mother Nature, Justin Conway, Duckweed, Runboy 7426, Justin Gooder, Strongman, Okie Grower 75, Corey Trevor, Michael Wallace, Movision 420, Who's Your Cat Daddy, Taco Don, Slug, Rick S, In the Bushes 82.7, James Siemens, Kevin Hahn, World Class Hope, Hats Fan 420, Biominter, Dirt Road Dude, Kenneth Shiva, Jose Ramirez, Red Eye Rustler, Dave Goblin, Dr. Buzz Lightyear, Acetone 710, Canuck, Canna Queen, Genetic, Stabby, Tanaze, Fumador, Dirtman Dan, Keith the Black Sales, Mr. Boselli, Zen Premium Gardens, Rasta Bob, Rasta Jeff, Soil Root, Small Tubes, Tyler, Frosty Bud, Snore Michigan Micro, Ouija Bud, Stub T Roy, Big Jar, Modern Genetics, SoCal Weed, last PPG 15, so Green County Grower, CJ Apple, Perfectly Imperfected, Dollar Tree Grow, T1 Productions, Dank Grower, DOA Grown Mess, Miss Nudie Grows, I Grew Some, Johnny Candace, Nutrient Shootouts, Naughty Nicky, Zoe and Slammer, NNY, Pixel Monkey, St. Bernard's Observation Booth, Clover 420, High Spy, Aldridge 25, Madam T, Stu Moon, Mo Grower, The Cannon Crate, Loki Grows, Sus, this guy, 79, Burton. Sorry, Seth, I messed that up. Polish Hammer, Midwest Outlaws, Voodoo Altos, Fresno Nerds, Cali Connections, Wolverine Grower, Big Jar Grows, Jimmy One for Life, Jimmy Laid, Way Back Farmer, D Block, MMP Nations, Creations, Amber Lalonic, Psychedelic Warlock, Artist LD, Sir Sticky, Rob, Big Day 420, Brent Wendell, Big Ed 1961, Manawani G3, The Green Click, J and K, Triple G, Mr. Sprinkly, Brittany and Tyler Teasley, Hope Farms, Lisa G, John, B2 Crazy for You, BGWG 420, Dr. Buzzwell, Purple Thumb OG, Arthro, Sensimania, Arthro, Just a Face 420, Beast Coast Grower 420, Sir Howe, Trey Valone, Keep It Real, Hagerton 420, discipline audit everywhere. BTWD Grows, Bingus, Screen Buffin Man, Alex Boyka, Jeff Chef Life, School of Crop, Cause I Love It, Green Mountain Grower, Southwest Okie Real 100, 212, Andy Man, Miranda Family, Me All Flower, Ryan Henderson, Green 13, New Sebot Wins, Kingdom Macroponex, Indra, Michigan Native, Mary Jane's Med Garden, Streamer 77 Double D, Bad Bunny Nutrients, Mr. Green Pots, Mr. Green Nugs from 619 to 664, Spaniard Kruger, Jones of the Grow, Pop G Grows, Raz Amy Dro Grows, Cast, the Grow From Your Heart podcast, Lily Luna, Green Men Flock, Jeremiah Miranda, Stony Creek, Lost Ireland, Mr. No One, LG 420, Giant Mike, Prometheus Soil, Jason Iso, P. Wen, David Colby, Mason 662, Scroggy McScroggerton, The Goddess Grows, Kaylee, Chad Brad Vaughn, Polly P, Kevin Jodry, Mike Honcho, Jay Huggins, UGA, Green Tree Hunter, Kush Cloud, Joshua Stevenson, Organic Home Buds, Warren Nelson, Cam Wood, Maine Mystic, Show Love Always, Kelly Stone, Texas OG, Chuck, Sarge S, Claire Fresno, Happy Guy, Dan the Indoor Man, Gromies Homies, Clip Smoke, Keystone, Canna Flag, PA, Big High 710, Eugene, also Fred Darn, North Arizona, Grow, Beer Grow 420, No Sellout, Jesse White, Gosh Dang Yeti, Introvert Genetics, So J. Really? Another good song coming up for birthday. So Jay, Vixen, Robin, Killer 8 Mole, James, Buttercream, C-Dub from NorCal, the Farmers Seed Bank, Deadhead, Smokey 616, Curtis Mahan, Matt Myron, Morte, Rick Heyman, Stephanie Doran, Tenna Seeds, Fab Curious K, Mike Rubles, the Drew Bear 420, Maxi 751, Lawrence Gonzalez, Slow to Get Up, Stu Moo, Popco 719, Paper Shake, baby, Old Smoke, Pop, PWC, Grown Buds, Laura Wash, Mr. Weedman, Old School, Grower, Chad Westport, Honcho, Grown, Flora Nugs, My Little Piece of Heaven, Richard T, Goliath Grower, Chrissy Wannabe, Mr. Soul, Food Spectrum, Gone, God, Lori Henson, Real 2,000 Years of Tradition, Mr. D. Conley, Jam McBodie Face, Show Me Scat Squatch, Fuck Google Andrew, I'm going well, baby. Canadian Restore, Porter File, Carl Rice, Hefner, Humble Farms, Tannery Farm, Seldom Seed, Old Park Gardens, Hell, 9782, Skunky Bags, Martial Artist, 2012, Microslave, Hefner, Daniel McDizzle, Medically Fit, KGB, Robert Mr. Green Fingers, Motherfucking Thomas, Rancher Coast of Plenty, Monkey Balls, Andrew Chaplin, Bobby Lynn Means, Trent Digger, Mr. Mag, Tony Like Baloney, Bill S. Weepy, Tater Delicious, Minty Country Roots, Huron, Fire X, Earth Creeper, Big Ray 420, Teeny 101, Buds and Hazard, Mr. Club, V-Man, Farm 6.6, Max Groom and Ruby, Timothy McKimmons, Neo, Justin Beans, Chronic 88, Fat Belly, Real, John Steele, Best 03, Turf Farmer, Shannon Stevens, Carlitos, Latinos, Kinder Country, Mr. Speed, Wolstein, Firesaw, Wally Wookie, The Goddess Grows, Ross and Bob, White Feather Grows, Burning Shrooms, Tone Grows, Zank, The Man Grows, BX Gunner 81, Smith, New Grows, Sean McCann, J Mug, Steak Agenda, Walla Camp Pro, Fall Dog, Huron Cannabis Council, Alyssa Parrish, Rockman, Justice Smith, 420 Grow, Fresh Grow, Thriving Herbs, High Man, Your Mailman Grows, We Be Growing, Australia Grow, Love for the Plant, Argo American, Smart Poker, Unfrozen Caveman, Wise High, Sir Crack, Micro, Goon, Jeff Lowenfels, Mobius Grows, Dank, Brownie, Stan D, Elliot Harkins, Mystic Flavor of the Foraging Gardener, Overwater, Overkill, Chesky, Shadow Warrior, Valley Green 514, Billion Jetson, Oz Indica, Dr. MJ Coco, Brandon Ross, Matthew Gates, Steve's Bag, Drone Star, Shotgun Willie, Dank Yoda, Jay Simmons, Sure Bro Grows, Clackamas Coop, GJ Conley, Aaron the Grower, like 1978, Michigan Grown Buds, Your Boy, Roy Boy, Delta 9, Jay McDaniels, Clackamas 420, Sinky Colas, Dylan Stein for PFC Farms, Husky Garden, Sun Grown 70 Subs, J A Dro, J420, Cascadian Grove, C Toads McGee, 4 Plants 8, Weedworks, Cat Rocky Buns, Hans Warrior, Jackie Young, Terry Lee Live, McCaster Tempe, Andy N, The Urge, Green Jr., Leon from All Purpose Plus, Green Goose, 11 Smiles 11, Bindu Buds, Michael Rosser Grows, Green 11 Mix Up, Kinder Grows, Evergreen, Hayes, Mother G's Friends, Tree, MMJ, Matt S, Save Ball, Dragonfly B, Justin Mans, Travis Wells, Lucky Mike, Eric Saddle, Chronic Seeds, King Chronic, Titan from Bosco, Seed, Django Gas, Wabasso for Life, John Smith, Tommy Trico, Smoke King, Crass, Pop Little, Slow Roll, Spiky Pilot, Oscar Green Jr., Matt Silbert, Into 11, Stephanie V, Sharp Pulley 999, Von Braun, Sovereign Guard, Social Nation 420, Joe Y, Bugs 1, 3-1 Grower, Painted Lady, Frank Blue, Jay Myers, Mid, the Chat, Mr. Randy D, Bagsy, Dr. DGC, Jeff, Shutter 911, Dutch Grows 420, Scallywag 420, Skillball 1, Bedgrower 1, Empire Breeding Co., Foley, Lost Leaf, Liam Mass, Danny Danko, B Bear 7, Allie Noble, Suka, Tom Trinidad, Louis, Mr. Smoking with Small Town, Tim Ness, Mr. Lazy, Raptor Grows, Rob, Automation is Freedom, Robert Hazelton, Mr. Quarry, Double Tap Farmers, Mr. Green Thumb, 808 Rooting Prospects, Canada Bus Driver, Hating Life, Kenny 710, Operation Growth, PT Man, TM 420, 696, Rudna 619, Hammered E Nails, Dr. Scrambles, VGHF, Double J, Bio Greens, Stealth Grower 56, Hanky Safety 420, OG KP, Ganja Nanda, Your Mama, Georgia Joe, Roy Rod, Nature's Best Nugs, Killer Grow, B Grows. Ganja Wizard, Husky Gardens, Nut Tree 420, Dr. Ooh, Soil Life, Bull Forward Life 420, the Jeff 420, the Beavis 698, Dr. Franklin, Line Bake, Ted's Test, the Riffin Fat Boy, Jack Greenstock, 420 Boom Farms, Charles Farm 420, Aldrich 25, Smiley's Garden, JD's, Miss D's Nugs, Smoking Grove, Fraser Grove, Koski, Twisted Roots, Faded Farmer 420, Jeff Dorowski, Genetic Memory Farms, Above 420, Cameron, Mr. Bagsy, Jill Carter, Mystic Marks, Mystic Grower, Ginger Snaps, DTE, Rose, Rick Wolf, DLP 2372, Ned Denver, Mike Denver, Sergeant Pepper 420, Cannon Trooper, Blind Cat 420, Light Up Again, Tim, UKSIF 420, Buddha Boy, Devin Shipwreck, Medical MJ, Bugsville, USA, Resurrection Prophet, Chris Martinez, Dankman 420, Dankman Dan, Red Center Farms, Good Life, Joni Bell, Chicha B, Most Hated Grower, Major General 420, Army, American One, W Digger 714, Srates, Kineos, Genetics, Mountain Skies, ready to hit that hot fire. Chris Wirtz, Ian, Save Robbie, Sergeant Live, Hippo Faye, Cam, Finger Lakes Finest, Ridge Pads, Dozer Mood, Southern Tea Grower, Choose Medical, Jerry Bear, Plus Medical, Secret City Pioneers, My Little Tent, 2042 Spacewalker, Christian, Tree Mum, T. Barrington, Heart and Soul, Homegrown, Mike B, T. Dwayne, East Coast Will, Heidi Day, Galactic Garden, Sean Smith, Liptus, My Natural Farms, Pacific Northwest Seeds, Ross, Kyle, Flow Trench, 420 Grant Manual, Mary, Sammy Sizzle, Lineage, Colas, Fritz Moon, DK, Trade, Vision Creator, Guru, The Kind Brew, Canada Nation, J. Wire, Rob Bobby, Sean Biz, Rescue Ready, So Roadside LLC, Notorious Snugs, Magma Seeds, Father and Son, Trimming Tutorial, Sub T Dank, Jose Martin Perez, Doggle the Hut 420, Bug, Chiba Man, TR420 Community Video, Detroit River Rat, Louis Garcia, Michael P, AJ Everyday, Captain Valley, Cheddar Bob 13, Main Grove, Cookie Scoop, Jay Kendricks, In for the Grill, Backwoods All Good, Sally Mantel, Adam Skankin, Chanel Simpson, One Smoke Away, Ganja Road, Two Aaron Burns Rooms, Mr. Lincoln Stinking, Angel Studios MG, the 420 Grow Twin, Paul Viella, John Fleming, Dankovich, Vibro, Flower, Polly, B, Seldom Seen, Elevated, Lenny, Organic, Sunman, Chiba Sunny, Jeff Papalik, Ricardo Sosa, Dan J, Earth Friendly Farming, Candy Forest Farmer, Fuck All That B, the Misfit Grower, Jason Lyon, 512, Snake Eyes, Northern 4466, Jason Grayson, Southern Bacon, and Dave. Hopefully you're feeling better, brother. Stony Creek, Russ Cyan, Fridge Dweller, Tarzan, Superman, Old Man Hermit Hash, Freebird, Mo Grower, Matty Gar, Simple Man, One Survival Time, Tim Blake, Golf Coast, Chronic, Stink Fat, Caballero Polero, Harley Grower, Jen Gon, Jason Lyon, 512, Steve Collins, Todd Kendrick, Property Maintenance, Sharpie, The Island Hayes, Scuba Steve Speaks, JR Ray, Randy K, TCDR, Claire Kitty, Warren Farney, Randy Grande, Piff 1000, Ace Spook 3223, Wake Up, Captain Free-to-Be, Puffer Smiles, 15 Digit, Mr. Ganja, Roots, Fred G, Super Bob, Broski 808, Weekend at Birdie's, K-Bag, Justin Station, Strong Style, Organic, Zippy, I'm Medic 31, Honesty, K-Hell, Neon Flower, Brett Booth, Todd Kendricks, Newton, K&T, Chris D, True Share, Both Times, Flow, Natty Dread, Farmer Matthews, Ancient Soul, Grown, Kevin, Jiu-Jitsu, Canna Health and Happiness, Berserk 215, Collab, Low Cut, Albert Trendley, Mo Manic Med, Zach, Brad's Matchy, Helen, Hugh Janus, James T, Atomic Smooth Bitch Jill, Big Daddy, LT Gardens, High Fly 420, Lobster Brushbone, Mother Tree Main, Red Pill, Your Boy, Roy Boy, Static, Jay, Shannon, Simmons, Wuhan, Rick W, Comfortably Numb, One Smoke Away, the 840 Grove Show, Richard Lamb, Red Pill, 710, Cannabis for Two, K Rolling, Worthy Buzz, Logan Man, 81, Oil and Flower Podcast, Authorized Fest, Warren Nixon, Pink Lady Luck, El Mando 420, surrounded by Keith Frowery, Farms, Fridge Weather, Single Father, Happiness Without Guilt, Richard Forbes, Daniel, David Pimenta, B4P Funk, Nicotine, John Reese, What About Bob, Prince Patty, Daniel Birdman, Green Puffin Man, B. Doug Lee, James Chung, Sarge Gross, 818, John Wade, Collier, Lina Root, Sister Golden Hair, Deanna, L. Thank, Rita, KNF, Gardens, Blank, 1030, 1, Only P, Fader, Farmer, James, Crypto Dope, Richard Lamb, HIP Grower, Matt, Javine, Dan Marino, Two Chronic Wonders, Sunrise Grows, Top Floor Genetics, Mold Vision 420, Can2 Cannabis, Jesse Fincher, My Dog Nelly, Rooster, Alex, Hardy Gear, Betty Cropper, Daniel Grows, Folder, Mitten, Grove Med, Sunrise Grows, Lexi, and My Baby Girls, you know who you are. No Limit 916, Scrubby Toad, Alchemist, and Canna Mix, Soda Bone, Addiction, Roz, Joe, Alex D, Dirty Or Catfish, High Powered, Thunder Dan, Propagation Station, John Daniels, Lisa Marie, Sarge Rose 818 again, Blaze Haley, Hyper, Perpetual Grower, Eagle Proud Warrior, Serious Smiles for you, Breakers out of the Dink Duchess, Keno Kelly Maxwell, Captain 420, Sink Fat, What About Bob Iljuster 420, Pop Shrooms, John Gorski, John Doe, Dugan Gangsta, THC 4T, PTSD, damn, T.A. Burrington, Ancho Grown, Swamp Camp, Palero, Can Binka, Best of Because, Mr. Manny D, Cannon Fire, 420 AB Normal, Frank Guerrero, Barefeet, J Brent 74, CK Brown Guy, 420, Packathur, Burning Tree, Maine, EA, Gray Sun, Grow 207, Hydro Daily, Hempwood, GG, Jamie, Reem, Supreme Grape, Stony, Rockefeller, Cannabis, Caveman, Brew City Synthetics, Twice, Sano, Midnight Roots, Dead Cynic, Knuckles, Michael P, Polly, Be Quick, Be Nimble, Bud, Kilowatts. Oh, this one will get me in trouble. Great song. No room for copyright. Great song, though. Knuckles, Michael P, Polly, Be Quick, Be Nimble, Bud, Kilowatts, Michael D, 4889, Disbanded Brothers, Massilia, Matt, Joseph. Grace, Medicine RX, Keef and Chief, Hydro Daily, Concerned American Cannabis 411, and another YouTube commercial. Dr. Joy's Freedom of Speech, These Trees, Gajo Sudoku, 710 is Oil Upside Down, Jesse Stevenson, Victory, Victoria, that is. Boy Ditch, Bob Scared Garden, Gus Groves, Rick 8, Dog Hounds, Dave in Louis, Arv Watts, AR, I need to work on that one. Ed Britton, last but not least, Weedus 207, thank you to Weedus, Ned Denver, all the mods that be hooking up the links during the shows, man. I greatly appreciate all you guys do. Sorry if I missed anybody that was throwing up links today, and I'm greatly sorry. Join me tonight when my guest will be, I'm pretty sure it is Scooter OG. Oh, there it is right here. Man, it's almost time for a new book. Can you believe that? Fuck, man, I can't believe it's almost time for a new. Oh, man, happy birthday, Magma Seeds. I'd seen that. I need to put that in the book. 29th, April 29th, Magma Seeds birthday. Scooter G, Scooter 3G on Instagram is who will be here tonight. 386. All right, here, the 29th, Magma Seeds B-Day. Let's look ahead. Let's look ahead real quick. See whose birthday's coming up in May, since we're right there. Where is last May? We gotta go to last May. Who's got May birthdays? That's what I want to know. Nobody in May other than my daughter's birthday, so can't believe that. Miss D's has an anniversary in May. Oh, day my dad died. No birthday, so try to keep up on that, guys. It is your birthday coming up in May. Let me know so I can put it in the book. Give you a shout out on your birthday. Sorry, Magma Seeds. I did not know today was yours, but hopefully I got to sneak it in. April 9th, red pill. Or August 9th. Almost changed the birthday. August 9th. Oh, my book don't go that far, but I guess I put it in last year, so it transfers. August 9th, red pill. Right there. A lot of August birthdays. Nice. Oh, yours is all right, Stoney. How long was it been? I must have just hit it with the book. John, you Annie N too? You know who else's birthday's on that day, guys? Lexi's birthday's the 21st as well. Yeah, three people on the 21, May 21. Looking back here, quick in chat. All right, guys, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get back to work. So, with that being said, if it is your birthday, please in May, please hit me up so I can get it in the book, so I can get you a happy birthday. See a few in chat there. If I do miss it, remind me, please. I love giving out happy birthdays. Who doesn't love a happy birthday, right? Gus, you too? Nice. Yep, Lexi will be 22 this year. Holy cow, I get old so fast. Just another good song, The Jungle. All right, you guys know the deal. If this is the end of your journey, please get some rest. This is the beginning. Make it an awesome day. But also importantly, please try to do something nice for somebody. We all need it at some point in our life. If we're ready to admit it or not, we do. July 31st. I got you guys. We do. At some point, we do. So, with that being said, reach out to somebody. Get a little eye contact. What you tell her? You all right? You having a good day? Feel good today? Can I help you with that? Want to smoke? So many great things, easy things you can do to pick somebody's day up. You guys know the deal. Please do something nice for somebody. I was reading comments. Brandon Max kindness do save lives. I have listened to them. Holy cow, that's loud. I will see you tonight. Scooter 3G on Instagram will be here.